comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. You ain't built for a skirt as a nigga can be. It's gonna sound like when I'm coming, like when I'm coming, like when I'm coming for ya. It's gonna sound like when I'm coming, like when I'm coming, like when I come for ya. It's gonna sound like here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really worry like that.
Welcome to the Betting News Network. Excited to have you guys with us. It is September the 28th, the last Sunday of September. Boys, October's right around the corner. Welcome to the Gridiron Gang NFL Week 4. To get you guys rocking and rolling. 2 hours of content coming at you guys live, talking through everything on the gridiron today. That's Vsauce. That's Trizzy Bets. That's Just Soak. My name's Sweatpants Jesus. Stoked to have you guys with us to kick off your Sunday. There's already football going on right now, boys. And Trizzy just told us he can't wait for the Steelers to shit the bed, basically. Five-year high. Oh, yeah, they're about to fall apart. How are we doing, boys? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, boys. Let's get it started. Games have already kicked off. Feels good. I know the international games kind of suck, but feels good to have football on.
Oh, yeah. Chat, you should have seen these boys. You should have seen these boys backstage, smacking the cheeks, getting the smelling salts out. The vibes are high. Absolutely rocking and rolling. The intro is pure gasoline. Let's go, Padge. Yep, feel that, fam. Rock and roll, baby. You're MySpace today, but it's okay. You came to the right place. We're going to give you the vibes to rock and roll. Thanks for stopping by and kicking it with us on YouTube, on Twitch, wherever you guys are hanging out with us. You're watching us on X. Thanks for stopping by. We will have our friend Chef T in the house a little bit later. We might have a Betsky Bang, boys. I'm not sure if Betsky's going to join us. He hasn't responded yet. It is early for old Betsky on a Sunday morning on the Pacific Coast. We got Sauce Man in his row, but we may not have a Betsky Bang. But we'll see. He might pop in a little bit later. It's going to be electric though when we're in Chicago and he's all like snuggled up on us on a Sunday morning, ready to go.
I don't know if you guys remember, but Betsy's got the kind of snoring that will rock the household. Like
Chad, does that surprise any of you? That Betsky has just the snore that is heard across Chicago.
Betsky also has incredible aura and does not answer to Betsky at all.
No,
Yeah,
he really doesn't.
That was the funniest thing.
You can scream Betsky across the bar and you will get no response. If you get the government name out there, though, if you get a Rad Brad, and he immediately whips around.
We're literally sitting in the Airbnb chat, and I'm sitting there like, Betsky, 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 nothing. Government name? Right away. Head turn like this.
It's funny.
If you hit V with a sauce, he's turning around.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately.
That's my favorite name. Fuck my government name.
I mean, SPJ's got his wife saying SPJ too.
It's funny because I'm here, obviously, still in Kansas City, as you guys can see. I'm wearing my Titans jersey too, so if I burn into flames, you guys know why. But I've said Shags multiple times, and his wife at one time looked at me. She was like, "That's so weird to hear live in person you calling him Shags. Like you're like the only person that I hear him call that, and it's so strange."
Yeah, when SPJ came to my wedding, like for the first event, everybody met him, had a blast and everything like that. They were like, "Oh, your friend Daniel, he's so cool, this and that." And then everybody the next day is when he made the connection that SPJ and Daniel, same person.
Also, thanks for lying.
When's SPJ coming? He's coming, right? I'm like, he's here.
He's right here. It's thanks for lying to the people and telling them that your friends thought I was cool. That was a really good lie for the peeps. Thanks for that. Thank you. Making me look cooler than I am. All right, enough gabber. We got a lot to get to today, guys. We're going to talk through every single game. Obviously, the game in Ireland's already kicked off, so we won't spend any time on that. But this is your weekly reminder to set your fantasy lineups. Jalen Warren might have fucked you this morning, unfortunately, but we're going to talk through a couple of stud.
Yeah, he didn't play. Sorry, Suck.
Oh, bro.
It was so random. It came out this morning too, man. Like I didn't see anything during the week, and then I haven't been
questionable.
Nah, he's out.
Sorry,
it's all right. I forgot to take James Conner out of my lineup earlier this week too. That's what happens when you have too many fantasy teams. But this is why you guys watch us. This is your weekly reminder that Vsauce loves to set your fantasy lineups because we got a few hours until kickoff. We're going to play Stutter Dud to get the vibes moving, to give you guys the situations on a couple of starting quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers and see whether you think they are going to be studs or duds. And then we're going to go through and we're going to jump into every single game. What up, Sagar? How we doing, chat? All right, boys, let's go straight to it. Quarterbacks. The number 5 ranked quarterback on ESPN this week is Caleb Williams, taking on the Raiders today. Two kind of terrible defenses. Caleb Williams went off last week for 298 yards with those 4 TDs. Triz, I'll let you kick us off here. We'll keep it short and sweet. You think Caleb's going to be a stud? You think he's worth that number 5 ranking?
Yeah, man. How do you not take him against this Raiders defense? Every quarterback has kind of sliced up this defense in one way or another. So, I mean, it kind of seems like based off last week, Bears are kind of catching fire here. That offense is starting to click a little bit. They hit a couple of big plays last week. So I just assume that's probably going to continue today. You also saw Caleb Williams with, I think it was 2 rushing touchdowns week 1, and he hasn't had one since. I think that adds to his fantasy value as well because he might end up running the ball a little bit today and finding the end zone himself. So I think you should start him today. I like him. I'm starting him personally.
Yeah, there you go. Stud. Sauceman's muted. Mute counter at 1, chat.
Before the 10-minute mark.
At the fucking minute, like, god damn it. Anyways, Caleb Williams, I think is a stud today. He's got a good matchup, and I think this season he's got more propensity to use his legs a little bit. You know, sometimes 3-4 that way too, even if it's not a rushing touchdown. Feels good. I think this might be a spot too where you might get him rumbling into the end zone. I don't know. I like Caleb Williams in this matchup today. I like a lot of points in this game. We'll talk about that when we get there, but I think it's going to be an offensive affair in Las Vegas today.
Yeah, both sides, both defenses, kind of mid, if not good at all. So we'll see. We should see some points. I was just surprised that he was a number 5 ranked quarterback, which I thought was interesting. So sounds like if you got him, you're starting him. So that sounds the vibes. You got anything to add, Sook? Do you like him today? You're going to throw us a wrench here, and do you think you don't like Mr. Williams and the paint nails?
Just with the opponent, I think that it's fine. If he's your quarterback, you're obviously starting him. But I'll cheat a little bit and say I don't think he'll be a stud. I just think that he's a serviceable quarterback, like Trizzy said, against this Raiders defense.
Fair enough. Lots of passing touchdowns last week. Not crazy amount of yards, but we'll see if that was just an anomaly or if that's something we're going to see this week. Let's go to the running backs. Big talking point. Number 11 ranked running back this week on ESPN is Omarion Hampton. The Chargers taking on the G-Men in MetLife. We'll talk about this game a little bit later. Last week, as the number one back, as Najee Harris went down 19 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown with 6 catches for 59 yards as well. Sauceman, I'll let you lead us off here. Do you like Omarion Hampton today? Do you think he's going to creep into that top 10? You starting him in any leagues?
Yeah, if I have him, I'm starting him in probably across all my leagues. The matchup with the Giants, I think, is fantastic. I think they should be playing with a significant lead in the second half and looking to feed him the ball. And then, unfortunately, Najee Harris went down last week. So that just kind of opens up this backfield fully to a guy like Omarion Hampton, a guy that I think most people were expecting to take over as this team's RB1 anyways. It's come a little bit quicker than some people were expecting, but I think you got to start him probably across all leagues today.
What do you think, Triz?
I would agree. Honestly, I think he's a smash spot today. I think there's a reason his touchdown has kind of jumped up in odds as well. His touchdown's kind of been at plus 120, plus 130 every game this season. Now you're seeing it at minus 130. Obviously, it's because he's taken over the majority of the work, but he's very efficient as well. And we also haven't seen Harbaugh really. Harbaugh's game is kind of hard-nosed football. He kind of just wants to run the football down your throat. Everybody was saying it before the season. We haven't really seen it yet this year. It's coming. I truthfully think it is coming, and this Giants defense is really, really bad. So I see Omarion Hampton kind of going off today. I think he's good for a few receptions as well. Herbert, it does seem like Herbert kind of favors dumping it off to him when it's not there. Herbert's been a lot better with his reads this year as well. So I think it's a big game for Hampton. Like I said, I think the touchdown minus 130 smash spot. So obviously will equate to fantasy points.
Hell yeah. This game's going to be interesting to talk about when we get there. Lots of props that I think are ripe for the picking in this one. And I do like that touchdown play. I know Danny's on that too. So, Sook, any additions? You got Hampton in any leagues?
Oh, I don't have Hampton in any leagues, but I do think he does play well because we have seen Justin Herbert obviously been going off 3-0 in this season already, but he's taken 10 sacks already. And SPJ, you were the one that kind of put me on like the Giants being able to have a good pass rush, and they already have a decent amount of sacks. So one of the plays that I do like today, just to tease it a little bit, is the Giants to have over 2.5 sacks plus 125. So I do think that Hampton has a good game because I do think that they're going to go after Herbert a little bit. And I think the adjustment there is to go to the running back.
Yeah, I was surprised by his catches last week. 6 catches. Obviously somebody that was kind of an outlet for him. Herbert's been, as you said, Triz, awesome this year. We'll talk about it when we get to that game a little bit more. But I think we all can agree that he's going to get big opportunities today as the lead back with no Harris. Probably a stud. If you got Hampton, you're starting him. All right, let's go to the wide receivers. Interesting one here too, boys. The number 10 ranked wide receiver on ESPN this week is Jacoby Myers, taking on in that similar game, taking on the Bears, kind of targeting that game with a lot of points. We'll get to talking about that in a little bit. 3 catches for 63 yards last week. Geno Smith's number 1 target so far. Sook, I'll let you lead us off. Do you think Jacoby's going to go off today, or do you think he's going to be a dud?
I think he'll be a stud for sure. Like, I'll keep it short and sweet so we can jump right into the slate in a minute here. Absolute stud. He's been good this season. And I know we've kind of talked about Jacoby was always in these like trade rumors, but now he's here. They got to play him. Geno obviously needs to start airing it out, and I think Jacoby will be a stud.
Sauceman?
Completely agree. I'm going to talk about Jacoby once we get into the slate, but I'm going to just say stud and leave it at that.
Let's go. Triz, you agree? You got any counterpoints?
No, not too much of a counterpoint here. I kind of agree on everything. I'm starting him in a few leagues. So he had a little quiet last week, and I do think Bowers has a big week this week, but I think there's enough to go around against this Bears defense. So I like Geno to kind of ball today, whether they're behind and they're kind of just throwing the ball 100 times trying to get back in the game, or if that's really just what works because this Bears defense is trash. And they're coming off a good week against the Cowboys. I find it very hard to believe they're going to that defense is going to string together 2 good weeks in a row. So I do think Geno balls today, and in turn, that goes hand in hand with Myers because it's his number 1. He gets like 12 targets a game, 13 targets a game. So with that kind of volume, how do you not?
Yeah, that's a great point, Trez, about like Chicago's defense because they are absolutely dead last in yards per play. This team gives up big play after big play.
It's like they could use a game wrecker on the defensive line. Would be really helpful for them. Don't know where they'll find one, but they should maybe draft one, or I don't know, look for the trade market, see what happens there. But no, I like Myers a lot. I'll talk about him when we get to this game. I do have some beans on him. I think he's a start if you have him in your fantasy lineup. Opportunity for some touchdowns possibly, and I think that he has a chance to maybe flirt with 100 yards. So I'm with you, boys. Stud or dud. That's it. Caleb Williams, Omarion Hampton, Jacoby Myers. We all kind of think they're going to be studs today. What could go wrong? Drop what you guys think in the chat. Let us know if you have any fantasy questions. Last reminder, go set your fantasy lineups if you haven't already. All right, boys, let's get to it. Let's jump to all of these games today. Bunch of games to get to. Let's start off with this one because I don't know how much time we're going to need on this game. Let's get to it. Buffalo Bills, biggest spread of the day, 15.5-point favorites at home against the lowly Saints. Over-under set at 47.5. This game sucks. This game is gross, but I'm sure somebody has something to say. Sauce Man, I'll let you kick us off. What do you think? Do you think the Bills just absolutely roll here? Do you have any thoughts? What do you think about what's going to go on in Buffalo today?
I think we're going to see some points in this one. We're seeing a huge spread. The spread opened up at 16.5. It's since ticked down to 14.5, I think is what it's sitting at right now. But This is what 75% of the handles, 75% of the bets on the Bills spread, boys. I know that the Bills don't cover large spreads, but the fact that the splits are sitting this way, but we've seen the line tick 2 points the opposite way. Trizzy, come on. Is that not a strange occurrence here with this much? I know we don't want to bet on the Saints, but it makes me think we'll see some offense in this one at least.
Yeah, I would agree with the offensive part, but at the same time, 16.5 is a very large spread. It is a very large spread, and the books probably set that for a reason, especially knowing that the Bills don't cover large spreads, and they never have. They genuinely never have. You see them as 14-point favorites 2-3 times every season. They don't cover the spread ever. They still had no regrets on opening the spread so high. I would agree with you more towards the over on the total, but as far as taking the Saints, I probably lean more with the Bills, minus 14.5. I think they probably get this done by 3 touchdowns.
Interesting.
This is a tough game.
They're also sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say they're also giving you the hook on 14.5. So it has moved down a little bit, but they're still giving you a hook on 2 touchdowns. So you got to look at that for what it is as well.
I mean, double-digit spreads this early in the season is hard to kind of look at and feel good about placing, but I mean, the Saints also got dog-walked in the first half against the Seahawks last week, and the Bills are better than the Seahawks, and it's in Buffalo. So I don't know, man. I feel like you could probably comfortably put the Bills down, but maybe the Saints come to play. I mean, they've still got pieces on that offense, but I just don't see a way that this game stays within the number. I could see the Bills winning by 3 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. I like the first half play possibility. Like, I think it was 9.5 or 10.5 when I was looking at it previously, or even like 8.5 or something. Taking the Bills in the first half just to get in and get out. That could be a way to do it if you want to go that direction from a side or a total perspective. What do you think, Suk? You got any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I don't know. The Saints are a weird team. Obviously, they're 0-3. They're a bad team, but they have some weird outlier stats like tackles for a loss. They're tied for 10th, and also sacks right now per game. They're tied for 11th. So they can definitely put a lot of pressure on a quarterback, but obviously we know Allen is very tough to take down. So I have to be 100% honest. This is not a game that I clicked on it, looked through like 2 things, made 2 notes, and I moved on. No bets.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, speaking of no bets, that's probably the move I should have done in this game, but I have 2 bets in this game. One of them is on the Bills side, Keon Coleman, over 43.5 receiving yards, I believe is the line. You can get 39.5. I'm seeing it's widely available right now. Like I said, I think this is going to be an offensive game. The Saints team has almost 0 pass rush. And if you're coming into a game against a guy like Josh Allen with the offensive weapons that he has with no pass rush, you're not going to have a good time. I know that this Bills team might not have to pass a lot today, but this is a line that's low enough for a guy who hasn't had the best games back-to-back. He had a big week 1 showing that he could play wide receiver 1 for this team, but has since then seen 2 back-to-back pretty tough matchups. I think this is a situation where you're looking at a Saints team that just gave up 5 catches for 96 yards to Jackson Smith-Njigba, and he only played 49% of the snaps, boys. This is a situation where Keon Coleman's taking 88% of his snaps out wide. The Saints have been like not good against opposing wide receivers, but 75% of the production they're giving up to wide receivers have been to wideouts out wide, like on the sidelines. That's exactly where Coleman is lining up, and I think they don't have an answer for this kid. He's not the most physical guy, but in a game against the Saints, I don't think he'll have to be. So give me Keon Coleman's receiving yards. And then on the other side, I am taking Juwan Johnson over 46.5 receiving yards. I do like his touchdown too. The price on it makes me think he's not going to get into the end zone, but the price on all of these Saints touchdowns today is kind of making me feel like the Saints are going to have trouble scoring. But Juwan Johnson's been really fucking good. He is a converted wide receiver to tight end. He is athletic. He is big-bodied. And he's developed a great connection with his young QB. Rattler's been good over the last couple of weeks. He's got 1 interception this year. I think he's got 4 touchdowns. 3 of those touchdowns came against the Niners in a game that they almost very much could have won. I think this is another game here against a really, really good team where the expectations are not really for you to win. The expectations are not really for you to do anything. Just come out, put up a good stat line, and show that you belong in this league. He's 0 for 9 right now, boys, in 9 career starts. He's about to go 0 for 10, and not a lot of QBs have come back from this. When you list the QBs that have gone on after like an 0 for 9 or an 0 for 10 start, none of them come to mind because we don't know any of them. Outside of Derek Carr, he is the only guy to come back from that. So Rattler really needs to put some good stuff on tape, despite how bad the Saints team has been. I think Juwan Johnson has really given him a good outlet. I think he presides a big size mismatch against a Bills team that loves to play in the nickel. So give me his receiving yards today over 46.5.
I mean, if there's one guy on the Saints you want to target, it's probably him, if anything. And I mean, as you mentioned, the Bills might be winning this game by a couple touchdowns at certain points, so there's probably opportunities for Rattler to have to throw the ball all over the place. So there's some props if you guys want to lock into this game. But if you're not a fan of either one of these teams, I highly doubt you're going to be watching this game. It might not even pop up on Red Zone that much, unless it's just, I don't know, turns into a shootout up in Buffalo. We'll find out.
SPJ, sorry, I was gonna say if it does turn into that little bit of a blowout, then maybe check out Kendre Miller's. We've bet him a few times. His rushing line is 14.5. He's already hit that in 2 out of 3 games. He missed it at 8 yards in this week 2, but week 1 and week 3, 24 and 27 yards. If it's a blowout, he'll get a few extra touches. It's such a low line. We've hit a few bets with him. I just thought it was worth a shout as well. Not an official play, though.
On the same side of that, too, you could look at Ray Davis props if you feel like the Bills are going to be really crushing, because then James Cook may not play the back half of the game, fourth quarter possibly. So you could look at making some Ray Davis actions if you want to, but that's just if you really want to get frisky with it. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about this next game. Another big spread. Maybe some interesting stuff, though. 10 points favorites are the Detroit Lions at home here against the Browns. Over-under set at 44. I think the line is up to 10.5 now. Still sitting around 44, 44.5 at the total. Lions looking to kind of dog walk one of the worst teams in the NFL. Looked really good the last couple of weeks after not looking great to start the season. Triz, what do you think about this game? Do you like a particular side here? What's your kind of thoughts here?
So what I do know is the Detroit Lions are one of the most bet spreads today, and they're in I think they're one of the top picks in the survivor pool. So always a bad mixture, in my opinion. This kind of screams backdoor all over it to me. This line has ticked down. Actually, it was 11 earlier in the week. It's ticked down to 10, even though they're kind of getting slammed. It was definitely 10.5, like few days ago, but it was 11 when it came open. Me and V like to talk spreads earlier in the week, and we did talk about this one. I would lean with the Browns today, but it's a little too gross for me. I already have one gross bet on the board, so I'm not really trying to make 2. I don't see how there's not a lot of points in this game. The Browns had a really good week defensively last week, obviously coming off a big win. Sorry, V, but it was a big win, I mean, yes, the Packers made some mistakes, but at the same time, it was a big win. So I'm a little scared off of this game entirely. I probably won't have any bets on it, but I will say that the Browns are pretty sharp today. I just don't have the cojones to put some money on it.
The Browns pass rush is absolutely fucking elite. Myles Garrett has been fantastic, and it's these other guys up front too that are doing the most because of the double teams that Garrett is facing. If you guys see the numbers, Garrett's facing the highest number of double teams this season, but he also still somehow has the highest pass rush win rate. I don't fucking understand. He is somebody that is illogical when it comes to the game of football. And what we saw last week, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more of this week. I know Penei Sewell had one of the best offensive lineman games of the week last week, but this is Myles Garrett, and he's been an absolute menace against teams. And I think that Jared Goff is a QB who doesn't perform that great under pressure. I think this is a situation where the Browns are going to win some ugly games this year, and now they might not win this one, but the 10-point spread, it's a shit ton of points, especially if you're struggling with long fields and long like second or third downs because of guys like Myles Garrett. I think this is a situation where I didn't really dabble too much on any prop in this game. I have no clue how to approach this one.
Well, you kind of lobbed me up a little bit of a softball. This is not something that I feel like super strongly about. I'm probably not going to put it out on the timeline, but I'll tell you guys here because I do have money on it. I like Myles Garrett for half a sack over minus 115. I know I don't like taking sack props unless they're plus money, but as you mentioned, it's Myles Garrett. He's had a half a sack in every game so far to start the season. 1.5 sacks against Baltimore and 2 sacks against Cincinnati to start the season. This line's offensive line is pretty good, but as you mentioned, Garrett's been awesome. If the Browns are going to stick around in this game, Myles Garrett's probably going to have a sack, 2, maybe force a fumble or something like that. He's going to be all over the place. So I like the value here. You're getting at half a sack. He doesn't have to get a full sack either. But if he does get the full sack, obviously you're cashing there. So I do like that play, and I'm with you guys. Nothing else really sticks out to me in this game. This game is stinky. It feels like a backdoor cover written all over it. Like you said, Meemaw might be making an appearance in Detroit. She likes to hang out there sometimes. So, all right now. Yeah, give me Myles Garrett, half a sack, minus 115. What do you think about this game, Sook? Any thoughts?
Yeah, it's not an official play, but there is a play that I do like in this game. He was named starter like last week, Quinshawn Judkins. You can get his rush attempts about at 15 at minus 115 at some books. He had 18 carries last week, and I just do think that's a low enough number that is definitely playable. I do think against their offense is just so poor. I know Flacco's probably going to be airing it out, but you just named this kid starter last week. He had 18 carries. You can get 15 at a playable number. I just thought it was worth a shout.
I mean, the last thing that the Cleveland Browns want to do is get into a shootout with the Detroit Lions. So they probably want to keep the ball on the ground, control the tempo, control the pace on the road. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense for sure. All right, boys, let's keep it rolling. A couple big spreads to start. There's some big games today, so we'll get to some of these other juicier spreads. Chat, drop a dub if you're enjoying us. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. If you're watching this on Twitch, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on Twitter, wherever you guys are hanging out with us, we appreciate you spending your Sunday morning. Keep us posted also how the Vikings and the Steelers are doing across the pond right now. What is the score there, boys? Is still are the Steelers still winning?
14-6. Yeah, 14-6. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I said it before the show. They are gonna blow this lead. I bought the half point, and I'm glad I did because I could totally see the Steelers blowing this and losing by a field goal.
You know, I bet it last week, and I didn't bet it this week. But Carson Wentz's longest reception was 33.5 again, and he hit it last week. Triz, I like that because if they come back, Wentz is probably going to throw a bomb.
Dude, yeah. Justin Jefferson's going off. He has like 9 for 86 or something.
Oh, yeah, it was always just
so that might have already hit, brother. Like
I was gonna say, yeah, he had a 22-yarder to Addison as well.
It was always just Jefferson and DK to go off.
Like, yeah, he hit it like 29 yards, longest pass.
Why is it so, we sometimes get all into the nitty gritty and we're going to talk about all the nooks and crannies of all these games. And then sometimes it's just DK Metcalf for 100, Justin Jefferson for 100 and 2 touchdowns. Like it's just, sometimes it's right there in front of your face,
Mm-hmm. And we talked about it too. We said that like we laughed because DK was like, I'm not going there to see anything. I'm going there to play football. And we're like, oh, he seems pretty locked in. And then we didn't take any DK props.
Sure, somebody listened and did. So that's all that matters. Mm-hmm. All right, let's jump to this one. Really interested to hear you guys' thoughts on this game. Should be a good one up in MetLife. We'll see Jackson Dart getting his first start for the New York Giants, taking on those 3-0 Chargers and Justin Herbert and Omarion Hampton and company. Over-under set at a kind of lower 43.5, but 6.5-point favorites are the Chargers on the road here. Triz, I'll let you lead us off with this one, man. Interesting spread, I think. The Giants are shitty. Jackson Dart might give him a little bit of a jolt of energy, but the Chargers have been really good. What do you kind of think about this game?
Man, I am holding my nose and taking Giants plus 6.5. That is what I'm doing. It is disgusting. It's nasty. It's the same spread they had against the Chiefs last week, and they didn't even come close to covering. Books had no problem not giving them 7 points again. I know it's Jackson Dart's debut game. I know the offense has been struggling with Russell Wilson, and it might continue to struggle. The Chargers have been rolling every week, kind of blowing teams out and covering spreads. This doesn't make sense. The Chargers -6 is the second highest bet spread of the day. The first being the Vikings -2.5. So they might end up getting the Vikings there, but I think this game just reeks. It stinks so bad. I think this game should also be a 10-point spread. I don't know why it isn't. Yeah. And the fact that it isn't is making me take the Giants plus 6.5. Like I said, I'm holding my nose. It's gross. It's nasty, but I wouldn't be a contrarian or a sharp better if I did not take the Giants today. And I am true to my core. So I'm taking the Giants. And like I said, holding my nose. It's disgusting. I'll happily be wrong. And then they get blown out if that is the case. But the line's too sharp for me to ignore it.
What do you think, Sauce Man?
I honestly, I have no clue on the line. The line is super fucking sharp. The coming in here, I think Jackson Dart is way better QB. He showed it during preseason too. He showed that he's willing to take some shots. And like Trish said, I think this Giants team, they've got some good weapons on both sides of the ball. Abdul Carter and that defensive line has been great this season so far. You've got Wan'Dale Robinson, who's playing really well. Malik Neighbors has looked fantastic when the ball's actually in the field of play. I think this is a situation where this Giants team is just looking for a little bit of a jolt. The only thing that concerns me a little bit is, like, I don't know if you guys saw, but Neighbors' comments in the media where it's like, it's not the quarterback, right? And it isn't the quarterback. It's Daniel Jones is thriving. You bring in Russell Wilson. Now, unless Jackson Dart has some kind of revelation for this Giants team, it might just be Brian Daboll. It might just be time for him to go, and the clock may have struck 12 on this guy. But I do think that the Giants are a team to watch today. I think one of the props I'm really liking is a guy named Wan'Dale Robinson, one of the best slot receivers we've seen over the last 2 seasons. I think this slot position here and the fact that he brings these short yardage situations with that speed really benefits a young QB that isn't playing behind the best offensive line, but is playing against an elite defense in the Chargers. I think a guy who can get you open in short and small yardage situations, a guy that is going to get you some yards after the catch. And I think that's exactly what Robinson does. His line's sitting at 39.5. And this is exactly where the Chargers, as good as their defense is, this is where their one weakness is. 47% of receiver production is coming in the slot against the Chargers. They are bottom 5 in yards against the slot receivers and yards per reception and yards per target to slot wide receivers. It's the only place they kind of have a weakness on this defense, and I think that Wan'Dale is in a great spot to take advantage of that, especially on a team that's probably going to be throwing the ball for a significant portion of the second half.
Okay, I hear you guys. And I mean, I think the Giants is probably the A side here. But let's not forget, this defense is good in the trenches, but they are still 31st in passing yards allowed. They have been getting torched on the outside. And lo and behold, Justin Herbert and company coming into town have been torching people. So I like Keenan Allen in this game. I think you can't go wrong by taking any of the 3 quote-unquote big wide receivers for the Chargers. You could take Keenan Allen. You could take Lad Donkey McConkey. You could take even Quentin Johnson if you want to. I just think Herbert's going to have opportunities to get these guys the football. This defense has been decent in the trenches, but they have been getting roasted on the outside. Again, 31st in passing yards allowed. Juju Smith-Schuster hit his prop. Tyquan Thornton hit his prop. Jalen Tolbert hit his prop. Kevontae Turpin hit his prop. CeeDee Lamb hit his prop. George Pickens hit his prop. No, but you think you guys get what I'm saying here. I think there's going to be opportunities through the air, and I think Herbert's going to take advantage of this bad defense. And I do think that that's going to be a factor here. Whether or not that ends up being the Giants stick around because Dart has a good game, kind of getting the jolt of, new quarterback energy. But I do think that the Chargers are going to be able to move the football. We talked about Hampton earlier as well as a good opportunity against this bad Giants rushing defense. So I do think that let's not forget the Chargers are I think they're one of the best teams in football. And until proven otherwise, I think we got to treat them as such. Do agree with you, Trizzy, though. I don't know why this is line 6.5. I mean, it's super sus, man. But I do think Keenan Allen's going to have a good day. He's been Justin Herbert's most targeted wide receiver. 28 targets through the first 3 games of the season, 60 yards and a touchdown in every game. I can see him having a touchdown again. And I do like his yards at over 49.5. So that's my favorite. Kind of like what you guys are saying with the Giants, but I could see the Chargers winning this game by 10 plus very easily too. And the Giants fans just being sad once again. So
I do think that. Sir, go ahead, Triz.
I was going to say this kind of has backdoor written on it as well. I mentioned that with the Browns, but it does have a weird feeling of backdoor where the Chargers kind of roll in the first half and take it easy in the second half. Next thing you know, Jackson Dart's throwing 2 touchdowns and they're within a touchdown. So again, stinks. I got to be on it.
Just 2 things. One, about the Keenan Allen front, he's 7 receptions away from becoming the fastest receiver to record 1,000 catches. I think that's something that we want to look at too. It's either going to be this week or next week. He's got 10 games to do it. And then secondly, I think another pass catcher for this Chargers team, I don't want to pronounce this wrong, but Oronde Gadsden. He's a young tight end. He was drafted in the 5th round of this year's NFL draft. Last week, he kind of had his first game here in the NFL, had 7 targets, 5 receptions, and he's a guy that they drafted in the 5th round, but he's a 6'5" tight end that ran a 4.59 in the 40-yard dash at the combine. He's not going to be the fastest guy on the field, but his big frame and his size really provides a great target for a guy like Justin Herbert. And and I do think that this is a situation where this is a team that's given up a shit ton of passing yards. They rank 31st in receiving yards allowed. And this is a rookie that you might want to get a couple more looks just to get him comfortable for later on in the season. You know what I mean? So I like his line is sitting at 21.5 receiving yards. And I think he could have a little bit of a game today.
So you can't bring this stuff up when V's talking. It's impossible for him to ignore these things.
He's got to focus.
It's impossible. It's 2.5 years, brother. You know.
I was concerned who's sending hate to Sook, and then I realized it's just Dills.
Yeah. Also, this might be. I've gotten a lot of comparisons of people that I look like. This might be the worst one because I really don't look like Nick Wright.
I saw that. I didn't dare bring that one up. I didn't dare bring it up.
I'll take Seth Rollins. I'll take
They just wheezed.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, that's the main one that usually comes. Is it because I'm sitting in a room surrounded by Chiefs shit? Is that why? I think that's probably why.
Might be.
That's probably why.
The mug threw Sook off. Shax told me that I had to drink out of the Chiefs mug today. So
Yuck.
Yeah, we'll talk about that game in a little bit. But all right, any more thoughts on this Giants game? I like the Gadsden play, B. That's a good pull. Yeah, go Sook.
The play that I mentioned before, just the Giants. This line has hit for 2 out of 3 games against Justin Herbert. They're all the points that everybody made make me very comfortable about this play because what else are the Giants going to do? They just have to put pressure. The D-line needs to get at Herbert. Plus money for just 3 feels very comfortable. They had 2, 3, and 2 in their first 3 weeks of the season. And like SPJ, you've talked about it. V, you just touched on it. That D-line's pretty good. And it makes me even more happy about that I have a unit on this play that Triz said that they might backdoor. Because how are they going to cause chaos in this game? They're going to have to disrupt Justin Herbert in the pocket.
Facts. I like it. You smacked the plus money last week. So you just keep feeding us these sack props that no one else can bet, and you can just cash in your own little corner by yourself, and we can all be sad and can't bet it with you. Oh, you son of a bitch.
I mean, if I could bet him in Massachusetts, I imagine I could bet him in North Carolina. So I bet college football touchdowns yesterday. It was pretty sweet.
That's dope.
Let's go.
That's dope. Sweating out college football yesterday with Shags all day was actually really fun because he smacked like so many bets, and he also told me I'm not allowed to leave Kansas City because of that. So, Chad, drop a dub if you guys had a good day with college football yesterday. How'd you do on real quick before we jump into the rest of these games, Tris? How'd the UFC treat you? I don't know. I know you said you were going to post your card. I thought it was pretty good, right?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think I ended up winning like the first 4 bets of the night, and then I lost a few, and then I won one. I think we ended up going 4-4, like plus a unit. I have to really do the math there. I know we were plus something. I'm just not sure if it was a half or a full unit, but a little average night, but just add on, it might be 1 unit, but it's 1 unit here, 2 units there, 3 units there. Next thing you know, at the end of the year, you're up 50. So, it's a slow grind. We got a big week for a pay-per-view, and I've been getting ready for it. So we'll bounce back in a big way this week.
Hey, man, that's how it is. Gain some units here and there. You're not going to make a shit ton of them all at once. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. I'm assuming this is not for the show, regular Hooper, more for the betting yesterday. But if that's the case, you came to the right place. We'll help you make some money today, hopefully. But if it is for the show, sorry, we love you, though. So we lost V. Wi-Fi will be back soon. We should have Chef with us hanging out as well very shortly. If you came here to watch Chef, he will be with us. None of us are Chef, unfortunately, but Chef will be with us. Chef has a surprise for us today too when he joins, which is going to be fun for you guys to watch. I'm excited to have you guys check that out as well. Let's go. Yeah, we appreciate you, regular Hooper. All right, guys, got to get your thoughts on this one. Tennessee Titans traveling to the Houston Texans. Texans -7, -7.5, depending on where you're shopping here. Battle of undefeated, but in the wrong way. 0-3 versus 0-3. Over/under set at 38.5, maybe 39.5 out there, depending on where you're shopping. Can CJ Stroud and company finally get a win and look to be competitive in this division, or is it just going to be Daniel Jones and the Colts running away with this thing? Titans looking to also gain a victory on the road, get their first win with Cam Ward and company. Triz, I got to get your thoughts here, brother. What are we looking at here? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like the over here. The under's getting slammed to piss. It's down another point, 38.5. This is an NFL game. This is a professional football game. You see this Titans defense giving up a shit ton of points to every single team they play. I think this is more speaking towards the fact that the Texans haven't scored like more than 20 points in a game all season or something like that. But I think they come out and roll today. Very high spread, -7. You've seen this Titans team kind of shorter spreads against better teams throughout the whole season. And the Texans look like they're really struggling offensively here. So you look at it on a base value, how do they cover the 7? Sportsbooks always know better than bettors. And there's a reason they set lines the way they do. And they're not coming down from the 7. I think it was above 7 at one point. I'm pretty sure it was 7.5, but still come down to 7, more of a key number. I like the Titans to roll here, and I do like the over. I haven't bet it yet. I have a shit ton of bets out there. I can't bet everything, but I do like the over there. It's a low gross number, so maybe I won't play it, but it's too few points for an NFL game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you might have had a Freudian slip and you said the Titans to roll. I'm assuming you meant the Texans to roll.
Yes,
right?
Yes, Texans to roll. Yes.
You got my plums tickled for a second, and then I realized that you probably just made a mistake. It's okay.
Yes.
I want to fade my team really badly today, but out of principle, I'm not going to take the Titans or take the Texans -7.5. I don't like fading my team, even if it's the A side. I'd rather just not bet it and be fine that way. I do think that the Texans should win by double digits, to be honest. If the Texans come in and play the way – the thing about the Texans is their offensive line sucks, and that's why CJ Stroud has been bad. But the Titans have no pass rush, like at all, like whatsoever. Jeffrey Simmons is the only comparable pass rusher that this team has, and he's an interior defensive lineman. So they just have nothing on the edge. I don't think it's going to be a problem for this Texans offensive line. Now, maybe Denard Wilson blitzes him, and it makes it more complicated, but I don't know. I just think that this could turn into a little bit of a rout. If the Titans make it frisky and they end up winning the game, that's great. That's awesome. But I haven't seen it so far this season. I backed them too many times. I'm not backing them today. If anything, I kind of lean with you, Triz. I think the Texans roll. I don't hate the over. I think they could maybe score 25 to 30 points by themselves. On that note, for that to happen, this is my favorite play. Give me Nico Collins over 69.5 receiving yards. Nice. Kind of tying into what you're saying. This Titans defense hasn't been great. L'Jarius Sneed made the comical error of trying to say he doesn't know who Nico Collins is as a joke because he's going to be guarding him. I mean, don't poke the bear, big dog. Nico's been really good for this team, even though they haven't been very good. I think he's due for kind of a breakout game as well. I haven't quite seen it yet so far to start the season. So I think 70 plus through the air for Nico at home could be a nice spot. I also like his touchdown as well for some plus money there too. So give me Nico to torch the Titans. And again, I kind of lean with the Texans here as well.
I'm glad that you bring up the over here, Tris, because there's two things that that I think people forget about with points here. Yes, if you're going to have two good defensive teams, really good defensive teams, especially against really bad offensive lines, which both of these teams have, we can get turnovers. Turnovers result in short fields. Turnovers result in maybe points from the defense. This is the kind of thing where I think this is a situation where the Titans offensive line ranks, I think, 28th or 29th. The Texans offensive line is in the same exact category. This is a team that could be playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder with Tennessee. They're playing in a divisional matchup. Both teams are 0 for 3. So technically, if you're going to tell me, if I'm a Tennessee Titan, that the Texans are better than me, by what metric? By what metric is that team better? They rank 32nd in points per game, averaging just 12.6 points per game. They have 0 red zone touchdowns and just 4 trips to the red zone in 3 weeks of football. I understand they played some tougher teams, but that's no fucking excuse. CJ Stroud is supposed to be better than this. This defense has been absolutely fucking elite, but the offense has been nowhere to be found. Now you're going into a divisional matchup with your season basically on the line. 0 for 4, basically the kiss of death. Both the Jaguars and Colts already have 2 wins. I really think this is going to be an offensive showing where we're going to see both QBs kind of make some plays. I think Cam Ward's finally going to, get this offense rolling a little bit. I think it's going to be fun in this one in the AFC South. It's also why I'm betting Nico Collins, but I won't pitch that anymore.
You take his touchdown or his yards?
Both.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like that too. Just because Stingley, I think, is questionable going into this game. I think he's going to play, but he is banged up, and that's obviously their stud corner for the Texans. Calvin Ridley, unfortunately, though, chat, I need to see it. I bet him every week so far to start the season. He's on my fucking fantasy team, and until he proves to me that these are not bricks anymore, I can't put any more coin on this guy. But he is due, and this is a good matchup. So I think that there's an opportunity for Calvin to have a good game. But I ain't putting money on it until I'm happy if he has 100 yards and a touchdown, though, because that would be great for my fantasy team and great for the Titans, but I don't want to bet on it.
I mean, SPJ, the guy I'm going to obviously the pride of Medicine Hat, Alberta, 4 and 4 receptions the last 2 weeks. That's plus 180 for 4 receptions again this week. So if you don't believe in Calvin Ridley, maybe we should bet on the boy from Medicine Hat again. And I'm going to mess this guy's name up, but the other guy, he's had 3 receptions, 4 receptions, 5 receptions. Chigozeme Okonkwo. I don't know who that guy is. I have not watched a minute of Titans football, but
Chigakonkwo, yeah.
Chigakonkwo, like that line looks good too. Like, who would you rather take as a Tennessee Titans fan? Our boy Ao Minor or the other guy?
I would take Ao Manor instead of Okonkwo. I like Okonkwo though. I think both of them are good options. Cam's been hitting them a lot, and they're kind of both of them are kind of his safety blankets, like his 1-2. Calvin Ridley is trying to get going in this offense, but Ao Manor's been really, really good. We've been talking about him a lot on the show. I don't hate his catches. I liked his yards too when I was looking at it. And Chig actually always has good games against the Texans over the last couple of seasons. So I like both of those, either yards or catches, whichever way you want to go. But again, I don't want to bet my team today. I'm feeling good about watching them and just letting them be. And if they win, great. If not, well, I can.
I should have let you fade the Titans because a lot of people in my survivor pool have picked the Texans. So it would have been nice if that reverse jinx worked and the Titans get their first win of the year.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't have any money on it. I lean pretty heavily with the Texans. Not going to actively fade my team, but either way, then I'm happy either direction. So, Triz, what do you think about before we move on from this game?
I wanted to add, I have a touchdown scorer in this game. Woody Marks plus 210. And I think that is way too low. That line doesn't make too much sense. You've seen his usage kind of go up over the past couple of weeks here. Nick Chubb. This is the guy that's broken his leg like 3 times, torn an ACL. Eventually that shit kind of catches up to you. And Woody Marks is the younger, the fresher, the faster back. So I expect him to kind of get a little bit more touches. And I think that line being as low as it is a little suspect. Me and Vsauce were talking about this. And actually, we all were. We sent it in the chat on Thursday that it was plus 210, and we were kind of questioning why is it that low, thinking maybe Chubb doesn't play or something. Chubb's fully in. He's fully healthy, and the line has not ticked a cent in either direction. So usually a sign I like to see, sometimes if I'm taking a touchdown and it goes up $1 or 60 cents, it'll kind of scare me away. Or if it gets hammered to the point where I saw it at plus 210 and now it's plus 150, it'll kind of scare me away. The fact that it has not moved is a big sign for me, and I'm on him to score today.
Yeah, I like that a lot, Triz. There's another running back we'll talk about later, but I'm starting a new rule. If there's a guy that you and me have our tinfoil hats on for a touchdown, I'm gonna find a prop of his that I like too. Because I don't know if you remember, but in the Ravens game, we had Kolar to get in the end zone, and while he didn't do that, he hit his props way out of the park. So I am taking Woody Marks over 1.5 receptions at minus 110. I think 2 catches for this guy who's getting worked into the offense a lot more. Saw 50% snap share, saw 50% of the rushing attempts last week, and is going to see a majority of the pass catching opportunities. I think give me his over 1.5 receptions as well as the touchdown.
I think it's a good kind of mention as well. Like when you target guys, either they get a lot of target share in the red zone or something. Like I think it happened on Thursday Night Football too. The that Isaac, that guy, Arroyo, right? Had a bunch of targets in the red zone. Ended up being, he would have been the leading receiver for that team if Jackson Smith-Njigba didn't catch a bunch of balls at the end of that game. But it's just a good analogy. Like sometimes if they don't hit the touchdown, like you can still take the receptions prop, the receiving
He's getting
prop.
a tutty next week though.
Oh, for sure. 100%. All right, let's move on from the AFC South battle. Should be an interesting one, I guess, if you want to tap into that game. Let's talk about some other games that have a lot more on the line. From 0-3 battle, let's go to the 3-0 battle. Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. 3.5 point spread towards the Bucs here. Over-under set at 44. As I said, battle of unbeatens. The Eagles have looked a little bit better over the last couple of weeks. Tampa Bay has Baker's been doing Baker things, just been getting by, winning games, doing all that type of stuff. But this is their first real big test they're going to face today. No Mike Evans on the for the Buccaneers today. What are we kind of looking at in this game? I have some thoughts, and I have a couple bets that I like in this one. I'm sure you guys do too. So I'll let you kind of kick us off since it is your Buccaneers. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, my God, there's no way I'm going to endorse any play because I'm fully unhinged. We're getting a number of guys back in this game, including offensive lineman Tristan Wirfs. So I do think that, weirdly enough, we are missing Mike Evans, but Wirfs is an all-world offensive lineman, and I do think that we're going to see different looks from them. Offensive coordinator Grizzard already talked about having Wirfs back there will change up how they play, even with Bucky Irving and Rashad White in the backfield, because both those guys are the smaller backs. Obviously, they cannot block at all. So I am interested to see what happens in this game because we're also getting Godwin back, and then we also have Tez Johnson that I think will play great. We talked about this on Friday. Sauce, but I think Tez has a good game, and then Gruden dropped his preview for this game, and he also thinks Tez Johnson has a good game. If you don't know, Sean Beasley's probably in chat, big fan of him as well. Tez scored a touchdown, Triz, in preseason, and then proceeded to do his best Livy Dunn impression in the end zone. Guy can do some flips. So I'm very, very excited for this game. I think there's a lot of props that you can like. Both of these from Austin, I do really like these. Also, Shep for a touchdown. I know that our boy Kobe is on Shep for a TD and laddering up his yards. I do think that this is going to be a really good game, and these two teams don't like each other. Baker obviously unfollowed Jalen Hurts before the game on Instagram, so a little narrative in there. And honestly, both these teams are 3-0, and I also have placed a full unit on the Bucs plus 3.5 because why stop believing in them now? That's my staff pick. So that's the only play I guess I can fully endorse in this one because I do think that the Bucs are a very good team and they are a Super Bowl contender when fully healthy. They faced a lot of injuries already this season and went on the road for the first 2 games this year. So I do think that this team has showed a lot of resilience, and I'm excited for this game. I'm definitely going to sit down and not have Red Zone on and just enjoy this one.
Goats are muted.
Goats are muted.
Oh, that's 2.
2 for 2.
Man.
Recover. It's okay.
I was just gonna say no football crack this weekend. Just a nice game.
Oh no football Adderall for me. I'll be watching the Baker do his best to beat the Eagles.
I think this is going to be a fun game, boys. I got a couple of props in this one. The thing you brought about Wirfs, he's one of the best offensive tackles in the game, and it's why I think Baker Mayfield should have a little bit more time in the pocket. In a game where you're going to have to be playing from behind probably for a little bit, you're going to have to put up some points as well. The Bucs have had a really good defense this season, but I would say this is their toughest test yet. The Eagles kind of came alive last week in the second half. Their offense really just started moving through the air. We saw Jalen Hurts. He made me, a guy who shits on him all the time for being a running back, just eat my words. He looked good. The Bucs are going to have to come to play, and I think that they can do that. But the splits here are a little bit interesting to me, Trizzy. You're looking at, from what I'm seeing here, 52% of the bets on Tampa Bay spread, but 75% of the handle going towards Philly. Is this a sharp, is this a pros versus Joes kind of thing, or what's going on here? What are you seeing with this one, Triz?
It seems that way to me. It kind of seems like the book's trying to set a trap here on the Eagles. You saw them cover this spread in the last seconds of the game last week, and they turn around and hang the exact same spread against probably a better opponent in the Buccaneers. So I like the Bucs today plus 3.5. But I don't know if I'm going to get there. I don't want to say Bucs outright, but I'm waiting for this Eagles team to drop the ball. I don't think they're going 14-2 again. They do not look like the same team as last year. Eventually, one of these teams is going to win outright. I don't know if it's going to be the Bucs today, but I do think they're going to hang around enough to at least cover that half point on the hook of the spread. So I like the Bucs today. Probably not going to get there to the ticket window. Just I have so many bets. I can't. I can't. It's the problem. At least with UFC, there's 12 fights. I don't have to bet every single fight. There's 14 NFL games. When you combine player props and touchdowns and spreads, it's like, hey, you look, you blink, and next thing you know, you got 10 bets. So I'm probably just going to stay away from this. But I do lean with the Bucs plus 3.5.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm with you too. I like what both you guys are saying. I like what you guys are all saying. I'm on the Bucs as well. I like the Bucs plus 3.5. This is one of my favorite spreads this week. Is it a trap? I don't know, but I'm just going to keep taking the Bucs at home, and I do think that they can win this game outright. I agree with you, Triz. I don't know about this Eagles team. Been kind of sus on them since week 1. I haven't shown me anything. They should have lost that game last week. Yes, they ended up winning it. Yes, the Rams just totally collapsed there.
They could have lost all their games.
Yeah, for real. They could be 0-3 very easily. I mean, they're 3-0, and they are the Super Bowl champs. You got to kind of make that a thing. But just from the eye test, watching this team play, I just think that they're playing with house money a little bit in certain situations. So give me what did TJ Watt do? Strip sack or something? Touchdown for the Steelers?
It's definitely a sack. I don't know if it was a strip sack.
Okay.
Speaking of sacks, sorry, SPJ.
Real quick, just let me throw this out there. This will make you happy.
Pick.
Oh, wow.
It was a pick. TJ Watt, what type of play was that? TJ Watt's getting the pick. What kind of play were they running?
Wonder if it was like he tried to throw it and on the side and Watt just like snagged it. Let's go. Yeah, I'm taking Baker in this game over 17.5 rushing yards. I know V kind of sold the passing yards. If you want to combine them and take the pass and the rushing, I think that could be a good way to do it too. But Baker's been crushing this line every game to start the season. He's probably going to have to get loose and run around a little bit against this Eagles defense. 17.5 just feels too low. 44, 33, and 39 in the first 3 games to start this year. And the one time that the Eagles have played a quarterback that does like to run around, Patrick Mahomes, he had 66 rushing yards in that game. The other 2 games, they played Matthew Stafford and Dak Prescott. Neither one of those guys want to get and move around a little bit at all. So I think Baker's going to have some success on the ground. I really like his rushing yards. And like I said, if you want to combo with the passing yards, feel free to do that too. Go ahead, Suk.
Oh, yeah. I love that Baker line. We talked about this before. I took it last week too. Like, he's been scrambling because that offensive line has been so bad. But one play that I do like, because it reminded me when Trizzy said I had so many plays. I do have a sprinkle on Vita Vea to have a sack. He had a sack last time that these 2 teams faced off. And honestly, Vita is so good with the tush push up against the middle. The only answer the Bucs can have is Vita plus 230. I do think that that's a very good play because the big boy is going to have to try to stuff that tush push. And I think they're going to send him early and often, because they're going to have to keep him in the mindset of the Eagles coaches. And Vita has not recorded a sack yet this year. no sacks in the first 3 weeks. I do think that maybe he gets one this week. So I think I put, let me just double check. I put 3/4 of a unit on it. So I do really like that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Thoughts, man?
I was just going to say on the other side, I did like Jalen Hurts to rush on the ground today. Over 39.5 rushing yards. Over his last 10 games, he's hit this in 7 of his last 10, averaging 45.6. He's not a guy that loves to get out of the pocket or a guy that they designed a shit ton of runs for just because they are trying to keep him healthy. But he is a guy who not only is more than capable of running, he is a guy that doesn't go down, that likes to stay in the field of play, get those extra yards, and is very, very hard to tackle, I would say. I like the over 39.5. The Bucs have a top 6 rush defense this year, but a majority of the rushing yards they're giving up have been to opposing quarterbacks. A guy like C.J. Stroud had a big game on the ground rushing, and he doesn't even leave the pocket. I think Jalen Hurts is in a mindset where he's 1-4 against the Buccaneers. His head coach is 1-4 against the Buccaneers. You have lost 2 playoff games to this Buccaneers team. You kind of have a mindset where this is week 4, but this is much more than a week 4 matchup. You know what I mean? I think he's going to come in ready to shoulder this team and do whatever he has to win this game. Over 39.5 rush yards feels good. And the offensive line is beat up. I know Lane Johnson is going to play today, but he was questionable all week, missed practice, and I doubt is even close to 80% today. So that combined with the fact that the Bucs are definitely going to be bringing pressure, I think he gets out for a few of these rushing attempts and maybe busts off a big one. And then one more question. Sorry, go ahead, Suk, first.
I was just going to say I like that play because I do think that if the Eagles win this game, it's with Hurts just running around when he gets the opportunity. Because you brought that up, it reminded me because they are actually all-time 3-9 without Mike Evans, who we know is not playing in this game and will miss the next few weeks. And not just 3-9 all-time in the 12 games the legend has missed, but they were 0-3 last year when he missed time. So that's a good point that you're making. If the Eagles make noise, it's because Hurts is running around.
Yeah. And now the other thing I want to say was, have you guys heard about the Bucs bringing in that big guy, the guy that they had basically redshirting? They're bringing him in just for the tush push. Like they said, he is at hazard to have a cardiac event on the field.
Oh, he can't play 3 snaps straight. No way.
He's 400 pounds, right?
470 or some shit.
Does this work? I want it to work so badly. Like I have his rushing yards, but I
want them to start calling false starts on their fucking tush pushes.
Oh my god, can we bet on this dude's sack?
That doesn't count as a sack though. If
it's behind the line of
scrimmage. I don't think he's the one that's just gonna clog it. He's not gonna be the one.
He's not gonna cross,
He's not gonna be the one that tackles Hurts. He's gonna be the one that creates the pile so somebody can jump over and tackle Hurts. You know what I mean?
You know what he's gonna be, boys? You know what a tush push needs? A nice butt plug. He's gonna be the butt plug.
Oh, I love that. Fire the cannon.
Oh my god. Holy.
Oh man, it just sometimes it just sets itself up.
It's so funny too because that guy has been kind of a meme for the first few weeks of his career. At first, he was just on the practice squad, and it just elevated him to being able to practice last week. So that's an interesting point that you make, V. That he was probably going to be out there just to do this, to be what SPJ?
A butt plug, absolutely, a big old butt plug down in Tampa. I've heard a lot of anyway, let's move on. I appreciate you guys for watching it. We got about 7,000 of you guys tuning in with us across all platforms. Thanks for sticking around to start off your Sunday. If you guys are watching us and the game that's going on over in Ireland, keep us posted in the chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, on Twitch, on X, wherever you guys are consuming this content, we appreciate you guys for hanging out and getting you started. We've got about 2 more games in the early slate to get to, boys, before we get to the late slate. So let's jump into this one. I know you guys said you got some thoughts here. And we might have some opposite opinions on this game. So let's jump into this one. The Patriots taking on the Carolina Panthers in New England here. 5-point spread. It was 5. It's up to 5.5 in most places now. Over under set at 43, 42.5, depending on where you're shopping. Triz, it's your squad. Suk might have different opinions. But is it them boys today? Is it your Patriots today?
Mayday! Mayday!
Mayday! Mayday!
I'm all over my Patriots today. Take my home bias completely outside of this. I'm betting the line. I'm not even betting the team. It doesn't matter who would be in this spot. I've already done it a few times over the season. This spread makes 0 sense. Like absolutely no sense. The Patriots are coming off of a tough home loss, and the Panthers are coming off of an absolute BTA over the Falcons. BTA, and they came in 5-point underdogs. I think that is entirely telling. The books are telling you what's going to happen here, and you just have to listen. They're off the 3.5. The key numbers here. There's a few key numbers in football: 3, 4, and 3, 4, 7, and 10, plus 14 if you want to get up there. The books have no problem getting over both of those first two. I understand why it's not 7, because this isn't a Patriots team that's really rolled at any point this season. Even the Dolphins win was like kind of back and forth there. In my opinion, I don't see how they don't roll today. We have Christian Gonzalez back. He is 100% healthy. I wouldn't be worried about him being like halfway healthy and just trying to get out there. No, Vrabel held him out last week just to make sure he is 100% healthy. He is completely fine. He's probably going to be matched up with Tet all game. They're both long guys. I think he might lock down Tet for a big majority of that game. And I trust the rest of this Patriots defense to kind of shut down everything they got going on. Bryce Young has been a serviceable quarterback this year, but he's always kind of struggled against pressure, and he's always struggled against very good zone schemes. And I think he's going to again today. I think the Patriots win this game by a touchdown. At the very least, this line makes 0 sense. And again, I'm betting the line, and I'm not betting the team. It may be my team, but at the same time, I'm betting the line. I never bet teams, I bet lines, and this line makes 0 sense. I'll be all over it.
It's nice when you can bet the line and it also be your team, though, eh?
Yeah, for sure. It sucks. It sucks if you're wrong, but like
sure.
you know.
Yeah. But I mean, you get a chance. It does make sense. Real quick before we finish this, just to answer this guy's question. Also, what's up, Mr. Cigar Smoker? Let's get it. Golden, Kirk, or Bateman at flex? Just from the phones. What do you guys think? Golden.
Waiting for him to have his breakout game. It might be tonight against this shit Dallas defense.
You're just tickling this guy's plums.
Waiting. Vsauce ain't gonna say anything.
Yeah, it's bound to come. He's one of their best receivers, even when Jaden Reed is healthy. So it's just about usage. It's just about when LaFleur is going to actually start trusting him, when Jordan Love's going to actually start trusting him, and he's going to start getting the volume with the targets. But it's coming.
Vsauce is buzzing.
4 targets last week, caught them all for 52 yards. Should have probably had a 70-yard touchdown if he didn't do the stupid
run
thing.
out of bounds.
Run out of bounds. I will say this, the Packers have not been passing the ball, period. That's been the biggest issue with this offense. It's why we lost the game last week. The Browns didn't lead for any time at all in that last game, yet they walked away with the win. If you're going to play conservative, if you're going to play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. It's time for the Packers to start throwing the ball. This is the perfect team to do it against.
Word. There you go. Thanks for the question. All right, let's get back to the Patriots game, though. Sook, I know you mentioned that you might be a little bit on the other side of this. You like the Panthers here?
Yeah, I know I mentioned that pre-show, but when Trizzy made his little joke of "good for you," I was like, "Oh fuck!" Because I always listen to Trizzy, so I don't think I'm gonna get to the window taking Carolina on the spread or money line or anything like that. But you know me, I've been weirdly watching this team randomly off and on the last 2 years. I do think that they have 2 serviceable backs. That's why I think a nice little parlay piece is probably the Panthers to score 1 rushing touchdown, -160, -150, -165, depending where you are. So shop around. But I do think that's a nice little parlay piece. Nothing official there, but like honestly, Bryce Young is not very good. And obviously the Patriots are looking better than they have the last few years, but they're obviously not still elite. So I do think that they get 1 tutty at least against them. And I do think that comes on the ground.
I did forget to mention this week the Patriots defensive coordinator, Terrell Williams. I know the entire defense loves that guy, loves that dude. And he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. So I do believe they're playing for a whole different reason today in certain aspects. And I think they're going to come out and ball. I want to mention this too. Milton Williams and Christian Barmore might be the best interior defensive line in the NFL. in my opinion. Interior. I'm not saying complete defensive line because we're a little weak on the ends, but as far as clogging the middle, Christian Barmore and Milton Williams are menaces. And again, I think they're going to end up getting to Young a few times because of that. Like I said, these guys are playing for a whole different reason. So I like narratives too, and that's part of it. I assume they're trying to get this win for their boy. So
I like that mention. Terrell Williams was brought in by Mike Vrabel. They coached together in Tennessee. He brought him there specifically because he likes him a lot, and this defensive unit has obviously got onto him as well. So that's a huge shout out, and I think that could also play a factor here, especially on the defensive side for sure.
Triz, they didn't get a sack last week, but 3 and 5 in weeks 1 and 2. 3 sacks this week is plus 125.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I would take that all day. I really would. And even like I said, we're a little weak on the ends, but because Barmore and Milton are so good interior wise, it kind of opens up some of our lower level ends to kind of get looks at the quarterback. So some of those guys trying to make names for themselves. And like I said, I think it's a big day for the Patriots. I think after this game, it's going to be like, how the hell was that 5 points? Or how the hell did this Carolina team put BTA over the Falcons? You're going to start looking at the Falcons like, how bad are they? So, yeah, like I said, all over the Pats.
Just to build off of that, you said, the defensive line, the pass rush has been fantastic. And then on the outside, you're getting one of the best cornerbacks in the league back, right? Tet's probably going to have a tough day. It's why I'm looking at Chuba over 3.5 receptions. This is hitting at plus money. I think after what we saw last week, we're not going to see that same Carolina offense come out to play every single week. This is a team who has struggled to keep Bryce Young upright. This is a team who has relied on Chuba, and we're seeing good games from Chuba, but nothing crazy yet. I think he's somebody they really have to use in this offense a little bit more. I think we're going to see more of it this week, and that's why I'm taking the receptions. On the other side, though, Hunter Henry. Over 38.5 receiving yards. I like the touchdown as well. I think he can get in there. Sitting at plus 200, which felt a little bit short to me, Trizzy. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but at 38.5, I feel like this is a spot where Hunter Henry is going to be able to thrive. You got CJ Horn, one of the best cover cornerbacks in the league right now. He had Drake London in a car seat last week, right? As we saw. But this is a situation now where you're going to get a elite wide receiver on one, or sorry, not elite wide receiver on one side, but some guys that aren't really the best in this receiving room. I know we've seen some good moments from guys like Butte, right? Guys like that, Kendrick Booty. But I think Hunter Henry is really looking like Drake May's favorite target. They have a relationship. They've got a little bit of chemistry carrying over from the end of last year. And at 38.5 receiving yards, this is also a Panthers team that ranks bottom 5 in receiving yards allowed to tight ends. They rank bottom 5 in receiving yards to receivers out of the slot. And Henry's been taking a good portion of his snaps in the slot as well. So I like this 38.5 receiving yards line for a guy that I think is going to have a tough time looking at his outside receivers. The Panthers have been bad, but defensively, their coverage team has been good.
Yeah, averages 54 yards at home in the last 7.
Love that.
Just to touch on the touchdown as well, he was plus 380 last week and scored 2. So that plus 200 being a little short is more so just a market adjustment.
Correct.
Right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he scores again, though. I mean,
100% possible. Yeah, I was just saying that's probably why he went from plus 380 to plus 200. So
it's not like some no-name guy getting that bump for no reason. That's usually a different reason for that.
He'll probably hover around there for the rest of the season, just because of the 2 touchdown game, the amount of targets he's getting. So you'll probably see if you see him shorter than that, then that's when I would say all right, that's short.
Time to go.
Awesome.
That big on that. They run a lot of 12 personnel.
Yeah, 12 personnel.
Yep. A lot of teams are doing that now. We've talked about that quite a bit going into the season. All right, let's go to the last game of the early window, and then we've got a few more games to get to in the late window. This game is just so interesting, boys. This is the spread that this game opened at earlier this week. We didn't update the graphic because now it is the Atlanta Falcons minus 2.5 favorites. So that line flipped, crossed over the 0 line as we got news that Terry McLaurin will be out for this game and no Jaden Daniels once again. Marcus Mariota and company will be coming into the ATL, taking on the Dirty Birds after getting spanked. Those birdies were not flying last week. Didn't score a single point against the Panthers like we just talked about, so maybe a bounce-back spot for ATL at home here. I know our dog Betsky really likes the Falcons. That was his staff play from the article. I kind of threw up a little bit when I put that one in the article, not going to lie. What do you guys think about this game? This game's weird to me. I got a couple thoughts, but I want to get you guys' opinions. Sauce Man, you want to lead us off? What do you kind of think about this one?
I think the Falcons need to get it the fuck together. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. They're firing wide receiver coaches 3 weeks into the year, pretending like he has anything to do with why this offense has been so bad. Boys, I don't know if you saw, but they're running pistol at almost 40% of their offensive snaps. Pistol, a fucking, like, and I don't even know how to, like, it frustrates me so much because you have Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson on this team. You have guys like Darnell Mooney, who is one of the fastest wide receivers in the league. You have to use these weapons and you have to use them now. I understand that maybe it's a coaching issue, but it wasn't the wide receivers coach. It wasn't him. So unless they make that change this week, I really think that they're going to be heads are going to roll in ATL if this offense doesn't switch up their game plan. It's gotten so bad that people on ESPN are laughing at them now. You can't do anything but run. Defenses know exactly what you're doing when you're coming into the pistol, and they have gotten nothing from it. They didn't get into the red zone last week against the Panthers, boys. I cannot emphasize enough how bad you have to be to not even record a single red zone trip against the Carolina Panthers. So I think that they have to switch it up this week, and that's exactly why I am going to Darnell Mooney, over 44.5 receiving yards. I think he's in a great spot this week. He had 11 targets last week, only 5 receptions. He had 100-some yards through the air, but finished with just I think it was 52 yards. This is a guy who is going to be a huge portion and a huge part of this Atlanta Falcons team. He had his second best year last season with the Falcons, 992 yards. Really established himself as the wide receiver 2 on this team. And now you're going up against a Washington team who has been absolutely terrible. They have a 60-year-old Marshawn Lattimore on the edge that has not looked good whatsoever. They have a bottom-ranked pass defense, and it's not about to get any better. Last week, we got cooked by a guy like Trey Tucker on the outside for that Las Vegas Raiders team. 3 touchdowns, 40-plus fantasy points. I think this is a spot where Darnell Mooney is going to come in, and we even saw it during the week. Raheem Morris came out and said, he's like, if we're not using Mooney the way we're supposed to, we are fucking up. This is our fault. Why he's not being instituted into the game plan. I think there's going to be some changes coming this week from game planning, from offensive schemes. And I think Mooney is a guy you really have to work into this offense. So give me the over 44.5 and just give me the speedy young wideout.
Mooney to the moon. As I said, Betsky's on Atlanta, which Godspeed that way. Shiz, what do you think about this line?
Dude, so the line, I have a cardinal rule: if a line crosses 0, you don't touch that team ever. If a line cross, I don't care who's ruled out, who's this or who's that. The books know who's out before anybody does, and that's how they set lines. That's how sometimes you'll see a spread really, really short and a guy's questionable to play, and you're like, oh, what's going on? And then the guy gets ruled out and the spread doesn't move. They know. So the fact this did cross 0 makes me really want to take the Commanders. Sorry, guys, but it does make me really want to take the Commanders. But my most profitable system in sports betting told me he loves the Commanders today. So it scared me right off of that. I do have a play in the game, though. I like Chris Rodriguez to score a touchdown today. We saw McNichols end up getting in the end zone last week, and they dropped his line at like +4 something this week. So I don't think he's going to get many looks. Again, Krosky Merritt, I think that's how you say his name. He rolled in this morning, might be a little hobbled, might be a little banged up. This team does tend to use multiple running backs to begin with. Eckler's out. Rodriguez is going to get more snaps. And his line was actually shorter than Krosky Merritt's all week. Krosky Merritt got ruled in, and now it's the same line. So they're both plus 250 to score a touchdown. And I think it's a little bit more fishy on the Chris Rodriguez side. So I will be taking Chris Rodriguez to score a touchdown today. It might be the only touchdown that the Commanders score, but I'll happily be on the right side of that if it is. So I like the value there too. You're getting almost 2.5 to 1 on a running back again on a team that has been running the football a lot. So on the flip side as well, I wouldn't. He does catch passes out of the backfield. It's not like McNichols comes in for every receiving rep. So he will get some passing work, and it's just another opportunity for him to find the end zone. So plus 250, I like the value there. I'm on there.
If you watch their game plan from last week, you can see Chris Rodriguez just slid into the Austin Eckler role in terms of being the pass catching back. For the first 2 drives, he was also the running back that saw a majority of the snaps, right? Cross came in afterwards. And I'm just saying, if you get close to the goal line and your young running back that looking like is going to be, your future running back that just tweaked his knee, is he the guy you want trying to get you 1 yard on the goal line, or are you throwing Chris Rodriguez in there?
Well, the other aspect of this too, also, Triz, your profitable system, he did have the Ducks yesterday, just saying. Yeah.
Do you know what else he had?
No, I don't need to know the rest. I'm just saying that's the one we talked about on the show. So
I say this all the time with him. It's not blind because a broken clock is right twice a day. It's not entirely blind, but most of the time, like, you can just take the other side and you're gonna make money.
Yeah, Jamie's, he just said the exact same thing. One thing I liked in this game, and I probably am not going to bet it, but because again, like you were saying, this game's stinky, dude. I like Marcus Mariota in this one. I like his rushing yards, and I do like his touchdown. It's plus 380. He scored last week. When they get into the red zone, if they get into the red zone, they are going to probably run some like designed run for him, or maybe he even just scrambles and gets into the end zone. Last point on this too, from a narrative perspective, last week he played against the Raiders, who he used to play for, and he had an opportunity and he scored a touchdown. This week, playing against the Falcons in Atlanta, started games for the Atlanta Falcons, and I think that he's going to want to come in there and probably want to play well against the team that he used to play for, that he didn't get even further an opportunity for. So I like the Mariota play. I think that there's an opportunity there for him to get some more yards on the ground, 40 rushing yards last week too. I think that he can move the ball with his feet. And if the Commanders are going to hang around in this one, possibly even win outright, then Marcus Mariota is going to have to be good once again. So I like Mariota here. I like the touchdown for the value. Probably not going to bet it. I might sprinkle on his touchdown before kickoff.
Thanks for the reminder, SPJ, because I wanted to say this. He did play for the Falcons, and the Falcons were like, no, you're not going to be our starter. Do you guys remember who they started over him? Desmond fucking Ridder. Let's take that into and let's not forget, on the sidelines, who's on the sidelines for the Commanders? Dan Quinn. Where did Dan Quinn coach before he coached here? Before he coached with the Cowboys? Atlanta. I'm just saying, if these two guys, two guys that were kind of basically like thrown out and given to the wind. I mean, a lot of narrative here.
Yeah.
Padge says Marcus stand-up guy, sure, but he hopes he poos his pants. Fair enough. It's a good way to say it. Proper Padge with the vibes. What do you think, Suk? You got any thoughts before we move on?
Yeah, I don't have very strong thoughts, but I do think that Drake London at plus 160 for anytime touchdowns probably pretty good. He hasn't scored yet in 3 weeks, but he did have a 4-week streak where he didn't score last year. But boys, I don't have a play in this one, but I just want to bring to your attention my absolute sadness that you guys know there's a few plays that I've been chasing in the NFL, and one of them was a Luke McCaffrey touchdown since last year. Guy got in the end zone last week, got 3 receptions, had 50 yards. I was not in on the party. I don't think I'll tap in this week, but it was good to finally see the younger McCaffrey get in the end zone, even though I forgot to chase it again.
I hate when you have that
crazy odds too.
Hey, when you chase that white whale and then it happens when you don't bet it. It's always
this is the whitest whale too.
It happened to me last year with a Donnie Mitchell. You guys remember that? I was taking a Donnie Mitchell every damn week, and the 1 week I didn't bet him. He got it.
Yeah, the amount of times you wanted us to put Adonai Mitchell in our fucking touchdown parlay it got to the point where he just was not acceptable anymore. and then he scored.
And then I remember that he's not a football player conversation. That
that worked.
Yeah, you remember that me cussing him out, and then All right. Yeah, we'll let it go. We'll let it go.
Yeah. All right, boys, let's jump to the late slate. We got 4 games in the late window. Actually, yes, 4 games in the late window that we're going to talk about. Yeah, that's how it goes. So we're going to get you guys, and we're going to start it off. We're going to get your dancing shoes on. So chat, get yourselves ready. Get yourselves ready to do a little jig real quick because we're going to start this off. We're going to go to Arrowhead. We're going to get into some rhythm.
This is the rhythm of my life. My life. Oh yeah. I know you wanna say it. This is the rhythm of the night. This is the rhythm of my life. This is the rhythm of my life.
All right, so for the rhythm bet of the day via our friends at Rithmm.com, taking you to Arrowhead. Arrowhead, the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Baltimore Ravens. 2.5-point dogs are the Chiefs at home. Over-under set at 48.5. And, boys, not just because I am in the house of Shackle Bets, not just because I am in Kansas City, Missouri, not just because I'm going to be at Arrowhead today. Give me the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, plus 2.5 at home. Actually, it is plus money now. I did actually get plus as well, but it was minus 105 when we made this graphic by our friends at Rithmm. They also like the Chiefs at home with the points. You can take that. They kind of have the Ravens winning this game via their models, as you guys can see. Ravens 24.3 points versus the Chiefs 24. 56% win percentage, minus 102. It's a recommended play via our friends at Rithmm. You guys can get involved with Rithmm with all of their data and all of their model information via our code VIBES25 to get 25% off. They have spreads, they have totals, they have props, a little bit of everything. But when I saw the Chiefs at plus money, when I knew I was going to be at this game, Patrick Mahomes at home in a must-win situation, boys. This team does not want to go 1-3 to start the season. 2 teams that are 1-2 kind of staring each other in the face, looking to get a big win. My man Adam Kaufman on Any Given Wager on Friday made a really good point about this game, boys, is the fact that the Chiefs are in a much tougher division. The Ravens and that AFC North is looking pretty bunsy. Yeah, the Steelers are decent, but the Bengals and the Browns are not going to compete for the top of that division. So the Ravens, in theory, could afford another loss right here. They don't want to lose, obviously. But the Chiefs, chasing the Broncos, chasing the Chargers, even the Raiders looking frisky, cannot afford to drop this game. So I'm rolling with the points. Our friends at Rithmm liked it as well. Like I said, you guys can go get involved with all the data they have at Rithmm. There's a huge amount of information on there. Get involved with our promo code VIBES25 for 25% off over there as well. I liked it. My plums were kind of singing it to me. I'm surrounded by fucking Chiefs lore all over the place. Might as well just ride the wagon. I did also talk to Shaggy, and I am going to wear my Derrick Henry Titans jersey to the game because we're going to be in a spot where if Derrick Henry does something crazy, you might see me on TV.
That's cool.
Yeah, that works.
Interesting. The
Sure.
giant 6'5" guy will definitely stick out to the cameraman, and wearing the white Titans jersey in
the
there.
only white Titans Derrick Henry jersey in the crowd. If Derrick Henry does anything, you can bet your ass my little cheesy ass face is going to be on TV.
You taking the Teddy then? You taking the Teddy?
No, I have another prop in this game that I like, but I want to get y'all's thoughts. We can go back to this game as a whole. Again, I like the Chiefs. I think they cover. Wouldn't be surprised if the Baltimore Ravens do win this game, but I'm going with the home dog. It's always a little bit scary. 48.5 points is a lot of points too. Xavier Worthy coming back for the Chiefs, I think, is going to matter for this offense. What do you guys think about this game? Interesting line. Huge game for both these teams early on in the season.
I'll start.
Yeah,
Go.
Go.
When do you see the Chiefs ever in a sharp spot?
Not very often.
Never see Patty Mahomes with 2.5 points, home underdog. I have a way better inkling that this Ravens team is going to lose. They're going to be the ones that go 1-3 versus this Chiefs team. As you mentioned, this Chiefs team's getting Xavier Worthy back. And you're giving Patty Mahomes points at home in a sharp spot. Give me that all day, and then twice on a Sunday, and thankfully it is Sunday. So
Thank God.
I'm all over the Chiefs here. You can keep the points. I'm taking the money line. I also like Patty Mahomes to get into the end zone today. He's oddly low. He's like plus 350 or plus 340. I think that's very weird, and even more interesting that he's playing a mobile quarterback against Lamar Jackson. So maybe he tries to take one in himself. We've seen it time and time again. Patty Mahomes does have the legs to get it done. I think that's really, really wide. I like that touchdown. I'm on the Chiefs money line. I think they're going to roll today. It's probably going to be a really close game, really tight game. But like I said, you can't give Pat Mahomes points at home. It's just like, no, I don't care if it's it's the Chiefs. Usually the Chiefs are the public team and they're not here. So I think that's also very interesting. It could be the book's gift to the public. So I'll be on the Chiefs money line. They were underdogs at home earlier in the season, I believe, and I was on them then too, and they did lose. So again, I'll go right back to the well. I don't think Patty Mahomes is losing as a dog twice in almost as many weeks. So give me the Chiefs.
Depending on how much stake you put in this kind of stuff with referees, I don't have the exact stats, but I was looking at this earlier. The head referee of today's game is, I think, the Chiefs are undefeated with him on staff. The other thing too is they love to call a lot of holding penalties. This referee, I think he's calling them at about a 35 to 36% rate, whereas the league average is closer to 22, 23%. Could result in some long fields, could result in some, fluke penalties, things like that. I'm just saying.
Take that headband off and put on the tinfoil hat.
Exactly.
Yeah,
the league wants one team in the postseason, that's for sure, right? And like you said, the Ravens have more room for error. If we know that, if the Ravens know that, I'm sure as hell the league knows that.
Sauceman's going to have unrealized air yards, and then we're going to start getting referee like birthdays and stats, some information. The referee report from Sauceman as well is going to start happening too. No, I dig it, dude. It all matters. And I again, it's one of those situations, as Tris said, a rare spot where you get the Chiefs in a sharp situation. But again, I'm going to the game, and I was like, what do because I got a bet on it. And I was like, what am I going to do in this game? Because I don't want to take the fucking Ravens when I'm going and surrounded by Chiefs fans. I don't think Shaggy would let me back in his house if I had the Ravens. But I actually don't like the Ravens side. I don't think that that's the side that I would want to take even if I wasn't going to the game. However, I do have a prop on the Ravens side that I like a lot, and this is purely off of the historical matchup that what's happened from the Ravens in these situations. I really like Lamar Jackson's rushing yards, over 44.5. He hasn't hit it in 2 straight weeks, 35 and 13 in the last 2 games, but he had 70 against Buffalo. Lamar usually shows up in these big games, and Lamar Jackson has hit this line in every single game he has played against the Kansas City Chiefs with 100 yards in the last 2 games against them on the ground. Yes, Derrick Henry is there. I'm sure that Derrick Henry is going to be good in this particular game. However, I do think Lamar is going to get loose too, and I think that that's going to have to happen, and I think that that's going to be something that they're going to design to take advantage of this Kansas City defense. Obviously, good defense, not been very good against the run to start the season. So we'll see if that plays a factor here too. But I like Lamar over 44.5. I do like the ladder too, up to 60 or 70, and maybe he even finds the end zone. But I don't want to take any touchdown props just because I want the Chiefs to win. So we'll just stick with that. So
Trizzy, does Xavier Worthy at plus 175 kind of say anything to you? You feel like that's accurate? What do you think? Come back.
When I bet my Chiefs money line ticket earlier, the sportsbook promoted that Xavier Worthy was a good pairing for it, and then I went over to Fanatics, and Fanatics also has Xavier Worthy's touchdown boosted from plus 170 to plus 210, and then if you go over to FanDuel, FanDuel is also boosting Xavier Worthy to score a touchdown today. I don't know about you, I don't want to take any bet multiple sportsbooks are telling me to take.
Yeah,
just because his first game back, thinking that kind of angle of it. I don't know.
Travis Kelce felt a little short. He was sitting at plus 170 earlier in the week. I think he's at plus 200 now. I don't know if I love that movement though.
So, what do you think about this game?
This game very much susses me out. I don't know if I want to take anything, but there was one thing that I had circled, and I don't think I'll take it. But Lamar for 2 passing touchdowns, he's hit it 11 straight times, and like I know everyone wants to take the rushing, but I almost took the passing because he's just hit it so many times. It's almost like the streak is so big now that maybe he kind of wants to keep it going, but it's not something that I actually bet. It's just a trend that I found, and maybe it was worth mentioning.
Yeah, it's due for a loss, but it has smacked so consistently. So hard to not want to take it. I'll just say this one more time. This was the Rithmm Bet of the Day by our friends at Rithmm. You guys can go get involved with Rithmm.com. You can download the app on your phone too. Use the promo code VIBES25 to get 25% off. You can ride with me today, taking the Chiefs. We've actually had a pretty good success with the Rithmm Bets of the Day. 4-0 on the last 4 that we've given on the show. Let's make it 5-0. that we've been doing across the WNBA and the NFL and college football as well. Go get involved with all their content. It's like paying for Netflix, chat. It's a little bit cheaper. Pay for tools, not picks. Go check out Rithmm.com. Get involved with everything they got. And you can sweat it out with me while at Arrowhead. Also, I'm going to be doing a fun surprise video for you guys at Arrowhead today, because I will just say this to you, gentlemen. Today is my 3-year anniversary working for Betting News. 3 years ago today, I started working with Betting News. Today, actually, the 28th of September. It's been an absolute joy with all you guys in the chat. I'm going to do a video of it later at Arrowhead, talking with all you guys and telling you guys how awesome it's been growing all of the fantastic community we have here at Betting News, working with you awesome dudes and everything we do here at Betting News. So it's been a joy the last 3 years. To the moon. We continue to go. Another big year ahead, but excited to talk about that a little bit more later at Arrowhead.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Cheers, SPJ.
Cheers. Yeah, there you go. Let's go. That's the way to cheers right there, big
Just
dog.
needed an
Man,
excuse. That's all I needed.
I'm so fucking mad I left mine in Nashville. Speaking of smelling salts, we got our fifth horseman with us, and he has a surprise for us. Chef, you ready? All right, but let's bring him up. Let's bring him up for the last 3 games on the slate. Master T, how we doing?
Wait, what did I miss? Did you announce something?
Today's my 3-year anniversary working with Betting News. So that was
congratulations.
Thanks,
Gosh,
man.
I remember back in the day when I was walking down the sidewalk in front of my house, and you're like, I think I want to do this. Betting News stuff. That was 3.5 years ago. Jesus Christ.
Indeed, sir.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Jesus.
Crazy, huh? Time flies.
Anyways,
fun.
congratulations.
Welcome to the show. Thank you. We'll do a video on it later. Welcome to the show. Got a couple more games to talk about. Better late than never. Now you have a surprise for the people.
Yes, I do.
Okay. What is is it a sniffable surprise?
Oops. Wait.
There it is. Hey, pull out the salt.
And these are unopened.
All right, I'll give you the full
Who
screen.
the fuck is Z Scott? And why is he catching touchdowns?
Oh, seriously? Jesus. He's like the backup running back.
Scott.
This is
Backup
when
running
B's
back.
ADHD just takes over and goes crazy.
Oh, come on. I started Jordan Mason in a bunch of leagues, man. Fuck.
All right, Chef, pull out the salts. Get it open.
All right,
We want to
so
see your
it
live
says
reaction.
open this up here like this. Oh boy.
Just to tell you, it's really great, but do not hit it real hard the first sniff. Just
Yeah, it says unscrew the cap and carefully remove the seal. Sniff from at least 6 inches away from the nose. Be careful as this can go from 0 to 100 literally in a sniff.
Indeed.
Screw the lid back on immediately after use. Not going to happen. Store 45 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Doesn't even say between. It just store 45 and 70, so you know it's legit.
one or the other.
Just be careful. You're very strong. Keep out of reach for
Yeah.
children. Thank God I'm not a child. So, ready?
Yeah. Yep. Get after it.
6 inches. Don't forget. If you go closer, you're gonna get a headache.
All right now.
How many seals are on this thing? This is the 3rd seal.
I know. Yeah, that's the one I got. 3 seals.
You didn't have
All
to
right,
add
in a
water
row.
into yours.
No. Yours is the
You're
only
the
one.
only weirdo that had to do that, man.
Look, stop making Canada sound weird.
Whoa.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, there it is.
Oh,
There it is.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Get them peepers open.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
baby.
Oh, yeah.
oh my God.
Oh,
The second smack gets you.
You're
You're gonna want to go for a third one.
It's closed now. It's different than what I expected.
You're gonna want to go in for a third one in a minute too. I bet.
Yeah, I'm getting oddly used to it, so I think we need to stop doing that.
yeah, you do.
Oh wow, interesting.
You feel awake
Holy
now?
crap. And you see these guys doing this like on the sidelines. I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome. Welcome.
This
to
What
the
is
Seahawks
this made
kicker,
of?
right?
Welcome to the fucking show.
Welcome to the show, baby. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I wish I was. I'm so honestly. I feel like the guy in the corner that like is watching all of his friends have fun, and I can't. I'm like, I want to do it so bad, but I don't.
Dude, Shag doesn't have these. I'm surprised.
No, and V apparently thinks that everywhere it has a hockey store just lying around. So I just, I couldn't just find one randomly in Kansas City.
Holy
I
crap.
showed my maple leaf, man. I showed my maple leaf.
All right, boys, let's finish off this late slate now that Chef's with us. Let's jump to this game because I know we all got thoughts on this.
Oh,
one.
Jesus
Colts.
Christ. Okay.
There's number 3.
There's number 3.
There's number 3. The Rams taking on the Colts in Los Angeles. Rams 3.5 point favorites. Indianapolis 3.5 point dogs. Battle of the unbeaten Colts taking on the Rams, who should be unbeaten technically, but looking to bounce back after that collapse last week against the Eagles. 49.5 is the total. Now, before Triz ruins my party here, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys this is one of my favorite plays today. I really like the Rams -3.5. I got -1 on 5 on this line. This is more about the fact that I truly do not believe that the Colts are actually really, really good. I think they're good. I think that they're going to be in competition through the rest of the season, but this is their true test at the first time that they're going to play an offense that is top 5 in the NFL. All the other teams that they played are sus. Also on the defensive side, pretty sus. The Rams are very good defensively too, and that offense is highly, highly potent and highly powered. Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua has been spectacular, and I think that the Colts are going to have trouble guarding both of those guys. So I think the Rams are going to roll here. I know that the line's pretty sharp. I'm interested to hear you guys say. I'll let you kind of kick us off, and then we'll go to Chef after that. I'll give you a second, Chef, to kind of get your thoughts together after that third smack. You were with me on the Rams when we talked about this. Was it yesterday? And now you've done some more digging. Yeah, now you've done some more digging, and now you're saying that I'm a bozo. What are we thinking?
You're not a bozo, man. Not a bozo. Like I was saying yesterday, at first look, this line's a little sus with the hook. The Colts have been rolling. The Rams blew blew a lead last week in the last seconds to lose the cover. And then you go and you look at the splits and you look at the market and I start kind of kicking around a little bit. And this looks like a sharp square collision. This looks like the pros and the Joes are on the same side. And, in my experience, betting NFL, betting UFC, betting kind of whatever the hell you're betting, if you get a sharp square collision, it is never a good recipe for success. So I'm not going to fade you. I'm not going to take the Colts +3.5. I probably should, but I'm not going to because, like we were mentioned yesterday, that was my first read. Rams -3.5. I thought that hook was a little weird, but now that I see it's kind of a pros and a Joe's spot, I have been officially scared off of it. I will happily sit on the sidelines for this one. The line is very, very weird. And again, like I said, sharp square collision. It's not making me want to take the fishy line. So I'm staying away.
I appreciate you staying away. You could have taken it if you really felt strongly about the Colts, but thanks for not fading me actively. Feels good. We'd have to come up with a punishment we do on the other show for when we go head-to-head on stuff. And that would be funny to watch us go head-to-head. But I see what you're saying, though. This is more of just me just looking at both of these teams, and I've watched every single snap of both of these teams over the last 2 weeks. So I've seen them both sides of the football, and I just think the Rams are the better team. Now, I know that the line might be a different story, but I just think this is one of those situations where at home, a little bounce back spot after just pissing away that game last week and losing in that weird-ass dramatic fashion. I think they're going to come out and they're going to railroad today. So I like the Rams. Boys, Chef, what do you think now that you've had a chance to let those salts settle in? What do you like in this game?
Yeah, I mean, the Rams look good, right? Like, Puka looks good. I think this is probably going to be one of the better games that we do see today. So I might do an SGP for it. But, I mean, you look at Keenan Allen, he's been absolutely fantastic, which is crazy to me because, he was on the Bears and it was such a disappointing season from him. So to see him actually, go back and oh wait, Keenan,
that's the Chargers.
Rams.
Other Los Angeles.
Yeah. Okay. What are my thoughts on this game?
The salt smacked, bro.
Yeah, I know, right? Move on to somebody else. I'll gather my thoughts. Okay.
All right, Sauce Man, what do you think?
I think I was kind of in agreement with Trizzy. I kind of do lean with the Colts here. I think that this line feels a little bit short with the way that the Colts have, like the way that everyone looks at the Colts, I think their offense is very potent. I think Jonathan Taylor is looking like the Jonathan Taylor that was going 1-of-1 a couple years ago in fantasy football drafts. I think this is a team that offensive line looks fantastic, that has given Danny Dimes a lot of time in the pocket, and it's got some good receivers. Alec Pierce has played well. Michael Pittman Jr. is kind of having a little bit of a resurgence now that he's got some good quarterback play. And then Tyler Warren on offense. He's an absolute unit, and what he brings to that offensive side. I do think, though, that like out of all the overs, out of all the totals, I know this is one of the highest on the board at 49.5, but I do think that it's sitting that high for a reason. I think that this is one of those spots where you're going to see two high-powered offenses with big playability and two defenses that can force turnovers at certain times, especially with the way the Rams kind of approach the pass rush. I think if I was looking at any of the high totals this week, this is the one I'm probably looking at, because I do think both teams are more than capable of putting up numbers. And just because both QBs are willing to put the ball out deep, that's what we've seen. A lot of times we're not seeing that in the NFL anymore. If you saw across the league, total yardage is down this year a significant amount. I think it's still early on in the season, but I think it's a lot of it because not as many QBs are airing it out deep, and we're not seeing those big plays. Daniel Jones has shown he's ready to put that ball out there and let his receivers come down and get it.
I think this is. I'm sad. I'm very excited to do it at Arrowhead. It's gonna be dope as fuck. But I'm very sad. I'm not gonna watch this game. I think it's gonna be a really good game. I'm excited to watch the highlights of it later. So, you got any final thoughts on this one before we kind of keep it rolling?
No, we can just keep it rolling. The one thing I almost took was Stafford for no interceptions, but because he had 2 in the last 2 weeks, so I just think he'd probably want to tighten it up. But for all the reasons you guys said, I did not take it because this could be a messy game. Like V said, the Colts have been forcing turnovers and they have been getting at quarterbacks, getting a decent amount of sacks. So I know all the attention is on the Colts offense being surprisingly good, but that defense has been pretty solid as well.
Chef, any final thoughts?
Gosh, no, you guys said it all.
Okay, I'll just let you keep enjoying the salts. All 4 of these games in the late window, boys, are all interesting for different reasons. Close spreads, all of them kind of have a lot on the line for teams early in the season. Let's talk about this one. This one's really weird to me. Jacksonville taking on the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers at home here. We're 3-point favorites. Now they're 3.5-point favorites, depending on where you're looking. 3.5-point dogs are the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road. 47, 46.5, depending on where you're shopping. Brock Purdy is looking like he's going to play in this game, so he's back for the Niners. Jaguars have been pretty decent to start the season, 2-1. Big win last week against the Texans. Triz, what do you think about this game? This line to me is just disgusting. But what are your thoughts?
The spread's disgusting. Look at the total. Brock Purdy got ruled in. It dropped 2.5 points.
Yeah.
What the hell is up with that? This morning, not even like last night. It's this morning. It's not 47 anymore. It's 45.5 in some places. Like,
oh, shit.
Since we've been on the show, dude, I don't even want to say this morning because it wasn't this morning. It was since we started this show. Within the last 2 hours, Brock Purdy got ruled in and the line got hammered down. What I do know is they were already hammering the under. The splits were already showing people hammering the under. It was up to like 70% of the money in some places. I wanted to take the over, and now this line move has entirely scared me off of it. I think it's very weird that one of the 49ers' best players gets ruled in and the line drops 2 points. You would think it'd be the other way around, or at least stayed the same. And as I mentioned, the books always know who's playing before anybody does. So they kind of probably already knew Brock Purdy was going to play. So why it dropped 2 points, I don't know. Maybe somebody dropped a 5-figure bet on the under or a couple of 5-figure bets on the under. It's officially scared me away, though. I do like Ricky Pearsall to score a touchdown today. I've now taken him twice this season, has not scored twice. So he's probably scoring today. The NFL loves to red pill me. So if I take somebody 1 week and he doesn't score, he scores the next week. So
Triz, I don't know if you've seen that graphic that V posts, but Purcell looks good on that graph. And every time V posts it, whoever is like in that top right corner, like Chef pointed out, like those guys are scoring.
Let's
like Trey
take him.
Tucker. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Pull it back up. Who do we got?
This is I don't know. Where's it at, V?
I'll pull it up in a sec. We can keep talking about this game. I'll get the graph.
But I love that Triz.
He's your white whale, and he's he is white, so that works. So far, start the season. While V pulls that up, because I know he's got some thoughts on this game. Chef, what do you think about this one?
Oh my God! I mean, Trizzy, you said it. I was looking this morning, and yeah, Brock Purdy ruled in, and then all of a sudden, we're looking at everything, and like, are Jags going to roll? Is Hunter going to have his huge breakout game? Is that what we're going to see?
Or BTJ is finally going to play like a star wide receiver, possibly. It's been hoping that that's going to happen.
Is it Jags? Trizzy, is it Jags? Is that?
I don't like how that hook disappeared.
It feels like it's the Jags.
Again, we were talking Brock Purdy being ruled in. Brock Purdy got ruled in, and that hook disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
If you would think it should move the other way. That line should probably go to 4.5. They have their starting quarterback.
He's banged up. He's got a turf toe thing, so he's like dealing with he's not 100%. Put it that way.
Yeah. There's some weird signs going on here. I don't like how that, again, their starting quarterback got ruled in and the line moved backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're thinking about this, here's my thought. What's the line for let's see. Wow. Kendrick Bourne, what do we think about that?
Interesting.
That's spicy.
He's been looking at. I mean, what is he now? He's been with the team 2 weeks now, 3 weeks now, something like that, right? You got to imagine they went and got him. So they went and got him and paid him.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously targeting Pearsall and Juwan Jennings. Are they both in?
Yeah, they're both playing.
Juwan Jennings is also another guy that's banged up, and we were talking about Pearsall, but. Mm-hmm. Pearsall is also banged up, so they were both questionable.
Sauceman, you said what's your thoughts on this game? You said it might be the Jags. Is it the Jags?
No, I don't know, Triz. Like the splits, 80% of the handle sitting on the Jags, but 51% of the bets sitting on the Niners. Like it's hard for me to take the Jags, but if we're just looking at it from a pure football perspective, the Jaguars have been good. The coverage team, their secondary has been good this year. They have been pretty decent defensively, right? Like they turned Jake Browning over 3 times. I know it's Jake Browning, but they're showing the ability to make big plays. BTJ's got to get on the same page at some point. His touchdown sitting at plus 160 today, Trizzy, which kind of to me also looking at me funny with how bad he's been. Another bad receiver we saw on Thursday night, Marvin Harrison Jr. finally getting the end zone. But Brian Thomas Jr. could be that guy this week against a beat-up Niners team. There's no more Nick Bosa. The pass rush is gone. This is why there's another play that I'm liking before I pull up the chart. But it's this guy right here. I'm sorry to say it, SPJ. I know you dislike him, but Trevor Lawrence over 1.5 passing touchdowns at plus 115. No pass rush. I feel like he's going to have all the time in the world in the pocket. This is a team that's going to look to throw the ball. And Liam Cohen is not happy with how this pass game has looked through the first couple of weeks, whether it's Trevor Lawrence's ball placement, whether it's BTJ in his hands. He's looking for more out of this team out of the air. And I think that's something that comes this week a little bit. Fuck Liam Cohen. Shout out Sook. I know just for you. But I do think this is a team that's going to come out to play. The splits are telling me that Jaguars are going to put up some points today. And it feels like the Jaguars plus 3.5. The spread even felt short to me when it came out.
I mean, this game's weird. I think we can all agree there. I bet BTJ last week. I thought he was going to bounce back. He hoed me. So he probably is going to bounce back, like you said. But we've got about 6 minutes, boys, or about 8 minutes until we need to tap the show because I got to get out of here because I got to go, run to Arrowhead. So let's talk about this last game on the slate before we cook our touchdown parlay, which we will do. We got about almost 9,000 of you guys watching us right now across all platforms. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get to 10K before the end of the show. There, see, Trizzy said it. Vikings making it interesting. A lot of you guys.
I know. I already recapped. Recapped Steelers too. I put
Jordan Addison, 115 yards, baby. Catch that.
Jordan Addison,
115 yards. Bang.
Just have a
wow.
Damn.
Oh no, the +3 is probably safe. The Vikings have 1 timeout, 2 minutes left.
82-yarder.
Wow, got it all in one big play. Let's go. All right,
Bro,
boys.
we gotta
Last game.
take Wentz longest fucking completion every week now.
Every week. Every week. Has he even thrown the ball to Hawkinson? That was a
I
shit
need a
wager.
Hawk touchdown right now to cash a lay.
Hawkinson's 3 for 25.
Okay. One more catch, Hawk. Come on now. All right, pick 'em, boys. Last part of the late slate. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Caleb Williams and company looking to take down Geno Smith. Over-under set at 47.5. Raiders a tiny bit favored now, -1.5, but it's pretty much you get some value on the money line either direction you want to go here. We talked about Caleb earlier, taking advantage of this bad Raiders defense. I mean, Geno Smith has a good opportunity against this bad Bears defense. Chef, your boys that you hate so much, that you love so much, that you have a toxic relationship with. What are you feeling about the Bears today?
Pick 'em. High total, super high total. I mean, if Chicago comes in with confidence and Raiders are being the Raiders, I think we see a good game. I like the over.
Sure.
I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth as we know. I mean, in my opinion, obviously CeeDee's the cowbell, right? Like, so as soon as he was out last week, the game was kind of over. I mean, they have a couple other weapons, but we know. So if the Bears actually, do what they normally do and let Jacoby Myers cook them, let Brock Bowers cook them, and the Bears kind of roll their confidence into this next week, I really like the over. 47.5, super high total. I don't see a lot of defense being played in this game. Raiders have already shown their, I know Triz, you said you're on Gene T, right? He's going to have a great game, I think. I just think it's going to be a really great shootout game, honestly. So all over the board.
Let's go. I like Jacoby Myers. We talked about this a little bit earlier with him in fantasy. I think that, like you were just talking about, Chef, I think that Geno is going to be able to take advantage of this Bears secondary. Jacoby Myers has been his #1 targeted receiver so far to start the season by quite a bit, 26 targets. Didn't quite get over the 64.5 line last week against the Commanders, but that was because they were getting their asses clapped. And he did have a big, long catch in that one. I think we could see something similar. And as you mentioned, the Bears, not good defensively, one of the worst defensive units in the NFL, and they've almost every single wide receiver they faced has hit their line. So give me Jacoby. I think he has 64. I think he gets 65 plus, and I even like him to get over to possibly flirt with 100. And I like the touchdown. So I like Myers a lot in this game. Like the over, like you mentioned. We talked about that some earlier too. Triz, you want to talk about Gene T?
So I think Gene T, just kind of like what Chef said, I think Gene T has a really big game today. We're waiting for him to kind of break out, and it might be against this Bears defense. I do have a real play in this game, though. I took the Raiders. I took the Raiders -1.5. Tell me this spread makes sense. How the hell does this spread make sense? This is one of the other fishy spreads on the board. Bears just had a great week last week. I was all over them. They put BTA to the Cowboys, couple of really long touchdowns. The Raiders have been getting kind of shit on every single week. They beat the Pats, but I mean, even that was a very close game. And this spread makes zero sense to me. Maybe because they're at home. I still don't get that either. Splits are all over the Bears. Seems like a lot of the betting public is all over the Bears. This line is only moving towards the Raiders. So give me the Raiders -1.5 with my big old contrarian hat on. This line makes zero sense. It's stinky, and I love stinky lines. So give me the Raiders -1.5. I like Brock Bowers to score today as well. I am on him. I think Gene T's probably just going to rip off for about 100. Maybe he gets into the end zone. That's a little square today as well. But I think Gene T runs wild. And I like Geno Smith to have a big day as well. He's like the 3rd ranked quarterback on fantasy football rankings. So I think he's going to have a big game against this Bears defense. I think this game's going to be very weird and very fishy. Maybe it's a shootout back and forth, but somehow, some way, I think I'm going to trust the Raiders to get this done and cover this spread. So give me the Raiders -1.5.
Yeah, bro. 4 straight weeks we've seen a line like this, 1.5 or 1, where it doesn't kind of make sense to us. We saw the Colts in week 1. I can't remember who it was in week 2. Last week it was the Bears and the Cowboys, right? Bears kind of ran away with that one. Now I feel like the Bears are the other end of the stick, right?
Agreed.
This is one of those you just close your eyes and press the Raiders and hope and pray, right?
Hey, come on. SPJ, we talked about this in our preview video for the Raiders. We thought that they have a lot of offensive options, but they've only scored 53 points in the first 3 weeks. I agree with Triz. I do think that they have an opportunity kind of pop off a little bit because all of those pieces have to come together. Like obviously GT's a rookie, Gino comes in. It's going to take a little bit to figure it out.
Yeah.
Sauceman, final thoughts on this one?
I'm with you on Jacoby. They gave up the most points to slot wide receivers, the most production to slot wide receivers. This is exactly where Jacoby's going to thrive. I know Trey Tucker went off last week, but this is a Bears team that is much better on the outside than they are on the inside. So give me the touchdown. And then if we're just looking at just the cornerback, I can't remember what his name is, Nick McLeod or Nick something like that. He's been bad. He's given up 10 targets, 8 catches for 133 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like he has been bad. So give me Jacoby Myers, props, yards, touchdown. I think he's going to be my entry in the touchdown lay, boys.
I was just about to say, should we start there? We're at the point of the show. We're about to cook our touchdown lay. We're not going to have time to talk about Sunday Night Football, but there's articles out there. Sauceman has all of his information that will come out on the timeline for you guys. So follow V and ride into the Packers sunset, and hopefully they can get the job done and bounce back this week against the
Scribbles are up too. Check them out.
Yeah. Go check them out. Peep them scribs. Go to betandnews.com for all the free stuff. Our staff article's up there too, chat. Let's go 12-0 this week. I've said it like 100 times. We ain't going 12-0 after going 11-1 last week. We're so due for some regression, but not this week, boys.
Not this week.
All right. Are we starting with – I'm down to start with Myers. I like that a lot.
Jacoby.
All right.
I don't want to give Devontae Adams for the 4th week in a row, especially since he's at plus 110 now. God. I did bet him, though. I got him at plus 125 earlier in the week.
He's probably scoring, to be fair. All right, so Jacoby Myers plus 165 to get the vibes moving. Triz?
Give me Woody Marks plus 210.
If Nick Chubb scores, you're going to be...
It's a good one.
Plus 210. All right. This is going to be a juicy touchdown lay today, boys.
Yeah. Those are the ones we hit, bro. Honestly.
That's true.
Last year we hit like I think it was like 2 or 3 plus 10,000s in the 6 weeks I was on this show. So
the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season for sure. Chef,
give me Keenan Allen.
Yes, I love
Yeah,
I like that too.
I mean, he's gone 3 weeks in a row. He's consistently the red zone target. I think they cooked the Giants.
plus 175. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Suck. Insert random guy we have not talked about for 2 hours.
Patrick Ricard for the Baltimore Ravens.
No. What about you guys want to go Ricky or no?
I like Ricky.
I like Ricky. I like Ricky.
Ricky!
I thought you were going to say McCaffrey.
Which one?
As in Luke. All right, so Ricky for plus 200. Holy. Plus 66.77 for those 4.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sounds good to me.
let's have some fun.
Graphic today, boys.
No, we'll do 4. We don't need 5 touchdown scores is getting greedy.
Yeah.
We got plus 6,000 odds. I mean, this looks like I want 5 flex. Woody Marks, touchdown. Keenan Allen, touchdown. Ricky Pearsall, touchdown. Jacoby Myers, touchdown. Plus 66.77. Bing, bong, bang. Spicy. All right. That's it. Bing, bong. What a show, boys. 2 hours. It always feels like I look up and it's been 1 hour, 45 minutes. And it's like, where the hell did that go? Love having you guys with us right here on the chat. Thanks for tuning in to the Gridiron Game. Get you ready for week 4. If you were watching the Vikings game on one screen and us on the other, you are goated forever and ever.
Uh-oh.
Let's go.
Get in here. I said. It's gonna be me in 3 hours, boys, with my Derrick Henry jersey on, chopping. It's gonna be funny.
Oh my god!
We appreciate you guys tuning in right here on YouTube and Twitch. Thanks for watching the Gridiron Gang. That's Chef T. Go follow him. Go follow Just Suck. Go follow Trizzy Bats. Go follow Vsauce. Go follow myself, Sweatpants Jesus. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us to get you ready for week 4. Boys, let's have a fucking day. How about that?
Let's have a fucking day.
Let's have a fucking day.
That's Trizzy would say. Let's make some money. You know?
Yeah, let's make some fucking money today.
Make some fucking money. Go check out bettingnews.com for all of your free sports betting information, guys. We got picks. We got so much stuff available for you for free every day. Bettingnews.com. Get involved with all of our content across all the socials as well. Sauce Man, you look concerned. Are you okay? You ready to rock?
Yeah.
He's just putting in parlays.
I'm not actually, because I'm not used to having this much time before the show ends. I'm just wondering what I'm going to do here for 25 minutes.
Just lock in a 700 more parlays and get after it.
And smell some salts.
And smell some salts. One more time, the touchdown parlay. Woody Marks, touchdown. Keenan Allen, touchdown. Ricky Pearsall, touchdown. Jacoby Myers, touchdown. Plus 66.77, depending on where you're shopping. There it is. Just hit it like that. You guys, appreciate you for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. You guys came for the winners, and you stayed for the vibes. Have a fantastic Sunday. Enjoy week 4. We'll catch you guys tomorrow, and we'll see you on the next one. Take it easy, chat. Take it easy, boys. Have a good one. Peace.
What you know about rolling down in the down in the now I know y'all be loving this shit right here.